Testing 1, 2, 3. Hey guys. Hey guys. Hey guys, and welcome back. It's been a couple weeks since I've actually done a live stream. I think I'm gonna get a little rusty here. So hopefully everybody's been good the last couple weeks. Nano, welcome. I just hear a little echo in the background, so make sure I kill that. Aaron's Aquarium, welcome. Jamie's Reef Tank, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? So, it's been a few weeks. It's been a while. What's going on, EDK? So as you guys know, I was off in the last couple of weeks. I ended up getting married. Was in Mexico. Did a bunch of scuba diving, which was pretty awesome as well. So the photo in the background is from one of the reefs that I was diving at in Puerto Morelos. Hey, Urban Reef Keeper, welcome. So apparently, this is the second largest reef in the world next to the Great Barrier Reef. It may become the first just because of some of the bleaching and stuff. So we'll see what happens. Fish Frenzy, Haley. The Mako Sparks Reef, welcome guys. So let me grab the Hangout link as well for whoever wants to join. Yeah, so it's actually really cool scuba diving there. So I plan on making a video for you guys once I have a chance to do it. What's going on, Rico? A little bit of reef. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. So let me know if that link works. I know YouTube's been a little screwy with the links lately, so hopefully it's all good. And hey, Mr. Rico, welcome. I can't hear you, so just checking. Roofing with O. So I can't actually hear you guys. Let me just try something here. Can you guys in the chat hear O or Rico? Microphone. Let me just double check.
We can hear Devin, but Devin can't hear us.
There we go. I can hear you now. Perfect.
Canada's connection somewhere.
Back in business. I'm actually upgrading. Oh. Yeah, we're working now. I'm actually upgrading my internet next week, so hopefully it's all good.
All right. Okay. Okay. We thought it was a connection, at the board or something.
It could be. It could be. There's speed bumps. I'm upgrading to a faster internet, which should be good. Which is actually cheaper than I'm paying now, so it seems like a good deal. So that'll be pretty sweet. So new stuff. Yeah, so this is what I was mentioning earlier. The photo is in the background. So that was in Puerto Morelos, which is probably like 20-minute walk of the beach for where I was staying. And it has some pretty awesome reefs there. It wasn't a ton of hard coral. Like it was a lot of softies, a lot of gorgonians, a lot of sea fans. There's other stuff like the encrusting rocks over stuff. So that was pretty cool. It was neat to see like a good proper reef. It's been a little while. So it's pretty cool to see that out in the wild. I just posted the link again. Hey, Terrence. Hey, Dave's Nano Tanks. So if any of you guys want to join, hop on. So yeah, that was pretty cool to go diving there. Today's topic, I know earlier we kind of brought it up about if it was, if you could change something in your tank, what would you do? And this partially came up because in my tank, I love my tank, completely customized and did it, but there's a bit of like a hazy lines in the glass, which isn't terrible, but it's enough to bug me. Since I upgraded my lights, it became more noticeable. When I had my Gen 3 Radions, they only have an 18-inch spread. My tank's 20-inch wide. So it didn't really highlight it at all. But no one's upgraded my lights with a wider spread. It shone out more. So I contacted the tank manufacturer, and they completely blew me away because they said that, oh yeah, we'll warranty it and make you a new tank and everything. So I was like pretty stoked. So I'm going to be getting a new tank out of that, which is going to be awesome. But if I'm going through all this work of transferring one tank to another, then I'm kind of thinking, do I want to tweak it? Do I want to, make it a miniature upgrade while I'm doing it? So I might make it a little bit bigger, a little wider, a little taller, that type of thing. Maybe redo my sump. Still trying to figure all that out. But it kind of was a good question for a lot of you guys. Like if you guys have changed something in your tanks, or if you could, what would you change or what would you do?
Well, years ago when I set my tank up, the deep sand beds were a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
I went with the deep sand bed, and I hate that thing. I can't wait to redo it and go bare bottom or a very shallow bed.
You could always suck a little sand just do a little water change and suck about a bit out each until it slowly works its way down.
Yeah, I'm just scared of releasing all that gas into the water. This thing's like 6 inches deep.
Yeah, I think I would.
Go ahead, Devin.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I would just suck it out a little bit each week and just slowly suck off a little top layer and just slowly ease it down. If you do want to get rid of it.
Yeah, I think the thing is, if it's been up a while, you're just worried about stuff being trapped under it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Sandbed is like the biggest mistake I've had in reefing because, in theory, it sounds good. You just put sand there and it processes nutrients, but it needs the right critters. It needs to be maintained. So when I first set up a tank, I did like a 6-inch deep sand bed. The second tank I had a 40 breeder. I decided the first one wasn't deep enough, so I went with like an 8-inch sand bed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me elaborate on that. Actually, when I first had my first tank, I did a deep sand bed. I don't know if you guys ever heard of New York Stilo.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I went what he did. But actually talking to Rico recently and you guys, they said just do like about a 1-inch sand bed, and that's what I actually did in my tank now. So we'll see how that works out.
Nice.
Yeah, I did a 1-inch sand bed, and then every now and again, I mean, I have animals that help me turn it over so it stays white. But every now and again, once every 3 months, I put my hand in it and I run my hand through it and just turn it over by hand. Because what happens is my cucumbers move this. So I have the glass bottom, then I put egg crate, then I put the rocks on it. Sometimes they move the sand in areas where like the egg crate gets exposed. So what I do is, every now and again, like once every 3 months, 3 or 4 times a year, I just put my hand through it and, like just stir up what's in it. And
so question.
Yeah, I've noticed in the past when I did that, when you feel the sand, it has like a hard shell on the top of it. But when you run your hand through it, it actually like loosens everything up.
When you have a deep sand bed, when you have a deep sand bed and you have that hard crusting on the top, then you know something has gone terribly wrong. Something has gone terribly wrong. Like, yeah, right now I have critter. Yeah, I don't have that problem now, but it's funny. The 2 deep sand bed tanks I had, I did have that issue. And that's when things are like about to crash, basically.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, cool. I'm glad I went with one.
Like only 1-inch sand bed or something like that. It's not really deep enough to develop all the bad spots in there, all the gas and stuff. So it's a lot easier to keep clean.
No, definitely. So question, if you guys, so some of you guys use the egg crate underneath your rock to prevent it from like the pressure point stuff on the glass. But do you feel that egg crate actually traps detritus and certain stuff within it? Because that was always my concern with it. Like I'm always like, it just seemed like a spot for stuff to get trapped inside, or it would never get stirred up.
100% yes. I would never tell anybody to put egg crate underneath the rock. That's exactly what it does.
Okay, yeah. I used either a hacksaw and literally cut a little flat pedestal on the bottom, or I took a hammer and just smacked it a bunch of times to knock off the sharp points. That's what I did when I did mine to make it, decently flattish to go on there.
Yeah, just flatten the rock out and you'll be all right, and just scape your rock so that the footprint isn't just a sharp point and stuff, rather than using egg crate, because, like what you said there, it's a trap. With like what O was saying then about moving his substrate now and then, and also having animals to be able to move his substrate and release things and stuff. With the egg crate, you can't really get in. You know what I mean? So gobies and even sand sifting stars, for example, they can only go over the surface. They can't get into the nooks and crannies. So it'd just be a trap. And then obviously the more egg crate you got, the more potential for it to be a toilet. Yeah, no, definitely.
In the chat, a couple. So one of them was saying, Sandy's Reef, I would go longer for tangs and shorter so I can manage it better. Both. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of length. One thing we were talking about, I believe it was last night's chat on Rico's stream, but we were saying how a lot of times when people rate fish per gallons, like you must have a 100-gallon tank or a 200, whatever. I kind of disagree a little bit with that, because I think it's more the dimensions of the tank. Like a tang in a 3-foot tank that's tall isn't going to be as happy as one that's 6 foot and shallow, right? It's that swimming space. So how they rate it based on the tank volume, I find a little bit misleading. Sean Serpidi, auto water change. Yeah, that would definitely be an awesome one. That's on my future to-do list. Engineering gobies take care of my sandbed for me. Easy reefing. I've never tried engineer gobies. I hear they're trouble once they're bigger. Like everyone loves them when they're tiny. but I haven't personally had one, so I can't fully say on that one. What's going on, Ed? Light blast onto the rock. A light ballast under my rock. I think you're trolling, Ed. You don't have a big metal ballast in your tank. Now, on my tank, I have a very high water line. So that's another thing I'm thinking about changing. So my water with, my little bit of wave action is like half an inch or less from the top. Like it's extremely high to the top. Now, having such a long tank as a peninsula, that prevents me from putting my pumps too high. Otherwise, I'm going to be splashing my lid or splashing water on the tank. So the other thing I'm thinking is I might try and, I might add a couple inches, maybe 4 inches of height to my tank, or depth, I guess, and then make the teeth deeper. So I have, like an inch and a half or so, like I have a bigger water line. So I get more of like a wave action. So it rocks more of the far end of the tank. Because that's my probably biggest challenge right now is since I refuse to put any pumps on the far end, I'm still pushing water that 5.5 feet across the tank. Light diffuser. Okay, that makes sense.
Do you know, since I was exactly the same as you with the peninsula, I refused to put a pump on the other side because it ruined the look of the peninsula, but since doing it, it has completely and utterly changed the game. Like you've got that bit of green algae that's building up and stuff like that. I was getting a little bit of, it looks dirty at the far end because obviously I've got a gyro having to push 7 foot of water. But since moving the gyro to the other side, obviously the great thing about the gyro is you can have it almost skimming the water surface because it draws water from the bottom. So it's not really splashing. And you can get it up really high and it doesn't really totally destroy the look from the peninsular end. And the flow now in the tank with the random flow generator at the other end has just completely changed the tank. My sand now, I don't have a sand sifting goby. I don't have anything other than 2 sand sifting stars, and they're not properly messing the gravel up. And these very small little brown patches here and there now and then, and it's nowhere near like it was before I changed it.
That's just from adding the second pump on the peninsula end?
I've not added a second pump. I've just moved the pump from the sort of like the filter end to the peninsula end.
Gotcha.
I've got the random flow generator on one end and the gyro on the other, and it's completely changed it. At the end where Monty Mountain is, the end where the filter ends, because that was sort of like underneath the flow, so to speak, the return flow. It was quite calm, which meant the stuff tended to build up there because it wasn't, quite strong flow in that spot. And that's where I tended to get, quite brown gravel. But now, since moving it, honestly, I know it's one of those where you think, oh, I don't want to put anything there, but try it. Honestly, get a gyro or something like that and try it on that end. It will honestly change the game. It really will.
I actually have a second one that I lent to my buddy. It's in his tank right now. I thought about it, but it's the whole having wires and having equipment on that end. It's hard to bite. You have a cabinet on the top at least, so you can hide it up high, so that helps, definitely.
Yeah, I suppose. I have got the advantage of having the hood, so I can hide it. But the thing is, you could also, say, for example, you could just run it around the rim of the tank, so, up a little bit onto the top of your rim, just stick it down onto the rim and then run it around the back of the rim. Something like that, to hide it. You can always extend the wires.
That's true. Yeah, it wouldn't be terrible. It wouldn't look quite as nice, but it wouldn't be terrible. On that note, you said the random flow generators. I actually got one of those in the mail, so I'm actually curious to try it. I tried 3D printing my own version, just like a model I found online, which is not quite the random one, but it's similar, but not quite. So I'm curious to check out the real deal and see how that works.
Oh, I love it. I got obviously, it's a product that Nick's pushing, but even if Nick wasn't pushing it, since using it, I'm one of those. I'm probably Nick's biggest critic when it comes to all of his stuff. I'm the one who will pick everything apart if I need to. But with this random flow generator, I can honestly say it's a really good call because it's an upgrade. At the end of the day, it's an upgrade from a standard nozzle that just flows water straight to, mixing it up a little bit. So it's a no-brainer and it works. Oh yeah, it's cool. That's cool.
So actually, so you're in the UK. So David was just asking, where do you find them in UK? So Nick's selling them, or?
Mr. Nick Chan, he's probably under the name of Easy Reefer in this thing because he's an idiot. But have a look for aquariumcabinetsolutions.com or .co.uk and you can get one from there.
Okay, excellent. There you go. Sandy's asking, do you know anything about the ABS board for bare bottom? I have seen a lot of people do it. I'm pretty sure it's the stuff they use for signs. It's kind of like that plasticky, cardboardy. It's like a plastic that's corrugated, like a cardboard almost. And a lot of people put that in the bottom of their tank. Thanks, Reefkeeper. So I've seen
the ones I see for. I was looking at some today, and the ones I see look like it's more papery and it'll fall apart.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the one I'm looking for, right?
No, it's more like it's like a plastic. I believe they use it for like corrugated signs, like is that type of material. It's kind of like a ABS-y, plasticky polymer type of plastic. But yeah, no, a lot of people use that on the bottom instead of egg crate. I mean, if you already have it in your tank, I wouldn't rip it down and change it. But if you ever move it or do a new one, then I'd consider using that. Or just cut your rocks flat, or just break off any of those short points. Just give it a couple good smacks with the hammer to flatten any of the pointy spots. That's kind of what I would do.
I did a search on Google and I did find it. Yeah, because in my Nano, I don't want to use sand. I want to make it as mobile as possible to move. So if I need to move it, I can just drain the water, take it up, and move it. Yeah. And substrate is going to complicate that. So, yeah.
Hey, fair enough. You're going the bare bottom road, eh? So on that note, anyone that's watching. This came up from Rico's stream the other day, but we're going to be doing like a nano tank challenge. So it's going to start in January and go to December. And it's basically 25 gallons or less. You can have an external sump. And I'll put a link to... I did a bit of write-up on reefdudes.com. There's a post on there. And we'll also give some more info on this once it's fully finalized. But it's going to be a nano tank challenge. Got some cool prizes. But the biggest thing is going to be fun to be like a cool little competition between other reefers. So... I'll drop a link to that in a few minutes once I dig her back up. But I think it's reefdudes.com/nano challenge. So it should be kind of a fun thing to do. So you'll probably notice we're going to be talking about nano tanks the next little while, on and off. And I'm hopefully trying to find one for myself to do. So it should be fun. Fun little competition.
Yeah. Could be.
And O's trying to make me jealous with his lagoon. So, yeah. So, Michael, what you're saying about that, having the pump on the other end. So, I have considered that. I still can't fully bring myself to do it. I thought about an MP40 because then I could put it lower in the tank. Then I'd probably blast away my Sandbed. But my current kind of sort of strategy is to more pulse the pump. So, I get like a decent kind of standing wave in the tank and it rocks the whole tank back and forth. So, providing I could lower my water level on, version 2 of the shallow reef tank, then that's going to give me more room to crank the pumps up more. And I'm hoping that will work. But I guess we're going to find out. And I had another crazy idea of trying to build, since if I do my tank 4 inches wider, then that also means my sump could be 4 inches wider. So I was thinking about doing a 4 or 5 inch strip along one side of the sump, kind of like between the middle two chambers, and then like a long, narrow refugium. I think he's like a planted tank laid along the top of it or something. So I don't know. You better join Devin Mike. I'm working on it. I've already found a babysitter for my jellyfish tank. And I potentially have a nano tank that I'm going to use. Just trying to work out a good deal on it to make it happen. So there's good potential. So you guys better be in there too, Duraticate, since you're pushing it. Another thing I thought too was potentially, I don't know, a lot of people I see that do like the closed loop systems. I don't know if I necessarily want to have a hole in a bulkhead in the bottom of my tank. To me, it still feels a bit sketchy. But that is one way of doing it in a peninsula, and you could have a couple little tiny nozzles hiding at the bottom to blast water back along the tank. But still seems a bit sketchy to me to have it in there. Yep, I might looking at the Red Sea Nano, which is a 20-gallon tank. It's about around 16 gallons for the display, 16.3 I think. Then there's 2.93 gallons in the back for the little filtration chamber. So
I'm going with the circular, the Atoll.
Ah, that's a cool one. One of the, not so local, but in Vancouver, their JNL Aquatics, they have one of those circle tanks on their counter. It's pretty cool looking. Did you already get it? I thought you were doing the lagoon tank. I guess that is lagoon.
No, I don't have space for it. I have it's coming tomorrow.
Oh, you already bought it? Nice.
Yeah, it's acrylic. So I'm a little worried about just cleaning it, but I'll figure out something. It's acrylic. Yeah, that's the only thing. It's about scratching it. But it's acrylic. Kind of like that it's light. It'll be easy to move. It'll be very portable.
Yeah, no, it definitely will be. I've never done an acrylic tank. I've honestly been scared of them because I'm like paranoid about scratches.
Yeah, the good thing is you can always buff them out if you get any.
This is true. One sec. Just sending Nick the link. He's asking for it. There you go. And Michael also wanted it. So, how are you? Who else we got on the line? So you're doing the Axtol tank. Fish Frenzy, what kind of tank are you going with? Are you going to partake in the Nano challenge?
No, he's actually in the process of setting up his huge tank. So
nice.
I don't think he has time. He was showing his tank today. I think he's cycling now.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's putting up a 180. So
nice.
I don't think he has. I don't think he has the bandwidth.
Okay. Oh, so Ed has a Red Sea Nano. So you do like it. Good to know, Ed. How is it overall? Like, are you like, you said you don't care for the skimmer. How's the rest of the tank? Everything else is good with it?
Terrence, what are you doing here? What is up?
Hey, Terrence.
What
Welcome.
are you doing, Terrence?
He's just hiding and smiling.
Watch out, guys. We got Terrence in the house. Now, what's up, buddy?
Yeah.
I just got to figure this whole thing out. I got audio with delays and.
Okay, so pause the actual YouTube, so you're not hearing him repeat everything.
Yeah, I think I got it now.
Okay, you're just sitting here. Okay, good.
Yeah, either pause it or mute it, and then just watch the Hangouts part. There's about a 30-second delay between live by the time it uploads and live streams it to YouTube. So it's always a bit weird at first. That's so I can beep it out.
Yeah, you got to dump it.
Yeah, it's a safety filter.
Right.
Yep. So did you catch?
I'll be here for a little bit, guys. I don't know how long. I got the call at 4, but I thought I'd stop in and say hi to all you crazy guys. Do this for 3 hours once a week.
3 hours.
Oh, that's just me.
16 hours. That's just him. I do it for 16 hours a day. Take that, buddy.
Yeah, I don't have that commitment. Once a week's good for me. I just drop in the rest of the time on other people's streams.
So you're streaming for that many hours a day, or it's like, are they giving you tokens or something?
Look, man. I mean, like, who's else gonna promote all these radions up here in this big old tank, man? Come on, yeah, of course.
Somebody's got to pay the bills.
Right.
By the way, Rico, welcome to the Radion Club.
Yes, I'm old school, so it took me a while, and tried out some of the lower end LEDs, and obviously they work for me as well. But obviously, being in this hobby, I've been in it over 20 years now, so I want to, expand playing with spectrum and different, things we had to do back in the day with metal halides going from 10 or 65, 10, 14 to 20K bulbs, over, depending on what you wanted to do with your tank. If you wanted that fast growth and everything, it was time to, me and Mike went out to dinner, Paletta and stuff, and talk, and we got the same size tank. So he told me, what I needed as far as the lighting, and I just wanted the different capabilities that the Radions gave. So it was time for me to make that switch, and so far so good. I love them. I love all the things sky's the limit on these things.
So all that growth behind you was metal halide growth then?
No, all these growth behind me was just a little bit of metal halide. My buddy came up, he's a farmer here, and I'm like 15 minutes from Tidal Garden. Than is a good friend of mine. But another buddy had some Ocean Revive T247s, some cheap LEDs, and he had them on his, and people talk smack, about cheap LEDs, and that's fine. It's all about knowing your lighting, knowing spectrum, understanding what are you
light
trying
is light, light is light.
So, just understanding the placement. You know, are you going to go at the recommended height? What are you trying to do? How much intensity you're trying to get out the light? Understand you might have to raise the light, lower the light. There's a bunch of things that goes into it. But like you said, light is light, right? Yeah. So this tank behind me is only 3 years old. This is 3 years of 1-inch frag growth, a lot of ORA, stuff like that. But it was mainly under the other. So lights. Now I've had the Radions on at 100% intensity at that for the past 2 weeks. So everything is loving life. Everything is rocking.
Is that like 30 inches front to back, that tank?
That's 36 inches front to back.
And you got 2 over them front to back, right?
Yeah, I got 6 total.
Yeah.
Yep. So
it's pay to play when it's Radion way.
Sadly.
Well, you know what? You get what you pay for. And people complain a lot about Radion, you know, about the ticket. But
I mean, but my point is not how much the Radions cost. It's just that how many you got to have to really do it. That's
that too. But also all the different things you can do in one fixture. You know what I mean? Versus having, you know.
Oh, they're a great product. There's no doubt. They're a great product.
Yeah, awesome. So, but yeah, you're right. You gotta pay to play. And
people who want to have a tank like you have behind you and do it with Radions, long term, you're gonna have to have more than the recommended 3 lights. Plain and simple.
I remember that when I get ready to set up this new big boy that's going to be 12 feet long by 4 feet wide by 30 inches tall, I'll come get my promo code from you, right, Terrence?
Yeah.
Be a big beast.
Right. Keep on pitching those Radions. It's making you have confidence in your pitch capability.
There, okay, hold on. I was getting ready to grab a napkin and wipe the tip of this, but I'll keep it on there.
So, Terrence, did you hear about our Nano challenge that most of us seem to be partaking in?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
You can win an Apex if you need one. It's one of the prizes.
Oh, really? my Nano would have won a Nano challenge probably a year and a half ago. Right now, I can't really even show it on camera right now. It would be very embarrassing if I showed that tank on camera.
The
fact that I can grow, it's an innovative marine tent. I've had it for 3 years, and I do a water change. Usually when I need it at about 3 to 4 months, and clean the sock about every 2 months out of it. And it grows, I even have a hydrophora in there. I don't dose anything. The alkalinity is probably 5.5 to 6. I don't know. It has a big old Euphilia in it, and a Scalemia and acans and everything else. And it works, but now it's full of algae. So it's reached the end of its usable life. I need to reset.
It sounds like you should reset and join our little Nano contest for fun. Sounds like a prime opportunity to just clear out that algae, get a fresh start.
Right.
So who's giving away the Apex?
Well, I have about, quite a few sponsors. We got Travis Fisher Hex throwing an Apex. We got somebody else.
Some good videos.
Mm-hmm. Yes. We got who else? We got Murphy's Reef, another
Here, I'll
one
pull
of
up
my
the list.
subscribers that's giving away a Kessel. I mean, not a Kessel. Radion XR15 and a Reef Link.
Yeah, that's what I run. I run the XR15 on that Nano that I have. It works really good. I like the light. It's an I think it's a Series 2 or maybe it's a Series 3. I don't know.
So here's the complete list so far. So we got Rico's Reef Tank, 5 acro frag pack, electric reef, $175 coral pack, mass aquarium, special edition boxes loaded for 3 people, Reefer Guild, $200 VRS, custom Nano Championship belt from DC Reefer, Inappropriate Reefer signature T-shirt, Fish a Hex giving away an Apex, CJ BZ mug, Triton's Reef 10-gallon underclass, saltwater.com or Live Aquaria gift card, and 2 Nano power heads. Krager's Aquariums Ice Cap 3K. Bubba is Hannah Checker of your choice plus reagent. Sabella Fella Kessel 150. Reefing with O, a Vortec or Powerhead or a Kessel A80. Billy Pipes $200 gift set to BRS. Fish Frenzy $100 worldwide coral credit plus signature T-shirt. Chris's Fish Room $50 BRS gift certificate. Murphy's Reefing XR50 and Reef Link. West Coast Reefer $100 gift card for Aqua SD. Senai plus a bunch of Fritz products and an Easy Reef bundle. Little Ocean custom acrylic frag rack. So there's gonna be one for UK, one US, one for Canada. Aquarium Cabinet Solutions. I believe he said he's going to do a custom 2x2 tank.
Yep.
Yeah. Aquarium Community Worldwide. That was to be determined. And Aaron's Aquarium, there was something, but that's still to be determined. That was the current
And
list.
Aquariums, my aquarium box UK.
Perfect.
We'll be doing a limited edition box.
All right, I'll update the site with that one.
And West Coast Reefer, did you get him for a $100 gift certificate as well?
Yeah, Talk Westy. So lots of random stuff. So really, there's like a ton of prizes. It's going to be fun.
So this is going to be determined how?
So go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. There's a few different judges. It's going to be on best aquascape, best overall growth, best coloration, most creative, most inspirational, and then a people's choice. So a bunch of different ones.
So there's 3 judges. It's obviously me. All the videos are going to my channel. Me, Fisher Hex, and Reef Girl from Canada are the 3 judges. So 3-judge panel on creativity, utilizing space inside the system, aquascaping, obviously core growth, overall coloration, and we're going to have the other half is going to be judged by a pool. So we're going to set up. Devin is going to help out with creating a list of all the entries, all the people, and then have the people choice to also be part of the judging.
That sounds like a great idea. So how long is this going on for?
1 year.
12 months.
Yep.
Wow.
1 year. So. January 1st to December 31st. Every month they have to do a update video. Titled it Rico's Nano Challenge 2018. Send a video of their video to my video that I already posted, and also have to do every week photo of their tank on Instagram.
Oh man, it's like another job.
That's right. Hey, what did you say early? You got to pay to play.
Hey, speaking of that, maybe these kinds of things. I've often wondered why somebody does not do the. How did I keep vid music up here? That's interesting. I think you guys dropped away. There we go.
Yep, still here.
I think it'd be neat if some of these things there actually was some sort of an entry fee that went to charity. Mm-hmm. So you really limit, some of this stuff. I think, more of these kinds of challenges and things like that. It would be really cool if you're able to involve a real charity, similar to what Felix does with his big giveaway that he does for St. Jude's. I think that's one of the coolest things out there, and I love having our company help contribute to any kind of thing that's happening at the club level or it's happening at the nationwide level, where the proceeds are going into a really good cause too. So it's just something to think about for all you guys, as far as getting help and contribution from us, because you can imagine we get asked for stuff like left and right all over the place.
Everybody wants something for free now, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah. And so part of the requirements for me, that especially for clubs and organizations is that, what's it really going towards, kind of a thing. And we look at that really, really closely and try to set some really tight requirements. But sounds like a great contest. I love the idea of going for 12 months and you put a lot of thought and whatnot into it.
Here's the thing. I travel to all these events. Me and you talked last time we talked, me, you, and Jake Adams and whatever, that the whole MACNA thing. But the thing is, I'm tired of always going to these events. You always see freshwater, like the last one I went to, Aquatic Experience, and then the Reefapaloozas, and you see a lot of tank offs with fresh water. And I don't understand why they don't have tank offs with salt water. When it comes to aquascaping, or why don't the reefing community get into the aquascaping side of things like freshwater? So it's kind of one of these things that it kind of started with DC Reefer and Joey, and challenging on a nano level, and from there it was like it kind of grows. So it kind of grew from there, and it's really growing really fast.
I like your idea. I absolutely like the idea. Some of these events. I went to CIPS in China last month, and actually Tony Vargas was doing a judging on a new event that they have there, doing just what you're talking about. It wasn't 100%. It's the first time they did it, so there's obviously a lot of room for improvement here and there. But I think in some of these events like Reefapalooza or what have you, You could involve just a couple of really key wholesale partners, for instance, whether it be, Walt Smith or, along with the Rock guys, along with various others, to put together a reefscape with already existing mini colonies and things like this. Because obviously you can't make it grow, and we don't use driftwood, and we don't use, all these other things that you see in these amazing tanks, especially at CIPS that we see. So you have to get creative with it. The only downside to all of this, though, is the animals. So in the freshwater environment, there's so much room for being able to, you can throw the driftwood together, you can throw some tetras in there, you can throw some shrimp in there, and for the most part, it's going to all be okay. I can tell you right now at CIPS, the coral tanks were not okay.
Yeah, that's kind of the only whatever, and I don't know what we could do. I mean, we can set up the night before. We do have, Dr. Tim's and stuff like that, instant cycle. There are things that we can honestly do, because I do it. I do a lot of importing my own and boxes of corals in Indonesia and all kinds of stuff myself for my own personal. I got 7 tanks in this house, big tanks, and we can do it. I mean, now, how we would do that, or if we, got Dr. Tim's and stuff on board to, with their product, there to, sponsor their product, or how we doing this.
It's an element, but you've got so much stress involved, and in order to make it look good, you want to get bigger colonies of stuff in order to make it look good. Nobody wants to see just softies, and even if it is just softies, they still get all toxic and stuff because the people are handling them and putting them in different places. And I'm not trying to put it down at all. I think it's a great idea. It's just challenging. It's super challenging to be able to do it in the same way that you can on freshwater. So doing what you're doing is a great way to, I think, to bring some of that to light. And I think you can probably integrate some of that even into the trade show in terms of, featuring those videos in a booth and showing what's happening. Or anyway, I think it's a good thing. I like seeing, people. I like competition. I mean, most people that know me personally know how much I like competition. So.
And again, go ahead, Cruz.
Again, when it comes down to nanos, it's a lot different than setting up a larger system. So the dynamics change. The filtration changes. Calcium reactors, no, it's not going to be heard of in a freaking nano system. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I totally agree with Terrence. And you could always put on the friggin' Apex to actually monitor your system, but once again, we're not controlling calcium reactors, large skimmer, so on and so forth on a nano system. You're relying basically on a skill of water changes. Once again,
you're telling me that's off limits when I create my nano system for this contest.
You can use an Apex. That's a
lot. An Apex, a calcium reactor, my new Trident system that haven't released
you can use it all. You can use it all. As long as it's 25 gallons or less.
I'm going to mute myself.
The dynamics have changed
now.
The dynamics have changed, and it makes it a little bit harder to keep, a lot of things stable in a smaller system.
You are 100%. You're 100% correct, and also the 12-month thing, right? Because anybody can make a tank work for a month or 2 months.
Yep.
But to keep it alive and healthy, and also I'm sure the judges are looking at something like, oh, look, the corals aren't the same now as they were when he put it in back in month 2. Looks like he must have had some die-off we don't all know about.
That's part of the reason of why we're doing like a weekly Instagram photo of it, so you can kind of see the progression too. Keeps you more accountable.
But I do have a question for a lot of you guys as well. When it comes down to it, a lot of us do have larger systems, right? So, who's to say that we're not able to? Well, and I'm basing this off of everybody being honest. Put it into their main systems, let it freaking grow, and then put it back in a new rockscape.
Well, you're not.
Yeah, I mean, people are going to cheat. People are going to cheat, right?
Yeah, it's just cheating.
It is.
No, I don't think anyone's going to cheat.
No
They're
cheating.
going to all take it in the good faith and humor that it's supposed to be.
I agree with.
Correct. Well, that's what I'm saying is that there's got to be some accountability, a little bit more of the honesty portion of it.
Well, the whole thing is
if you're posting weekly photos, that's a lot of effort to go move everything back and forth every week and put in the exact same spot. So hopefully that deters people from being cheaters and just go with it and have fun.
Exactly.
Not if I just plummet in Nano though. Not in the 5-gallon Nano. You have one.
Yeah, but if you're doing it in if you're doing it for $100 and an Apex and all that lot and all these different things, it's worth the effort.
Honestly, a lot of people.
You people across the pond are just so cynical.
Terrence, you mentioned it first.
It's because it's always raining.
It's because it's always raining.
We just hope.
Hey, cuz.
We honestly just really hope everybody plays by the rules. It's a friendly challenge, and it's really challenging yourself to come out your comfort zone and learn. I think it's a good thing to learn from keeping things on a smaller level. It's a little more challenging. You're going to find out what you're capable of doing. You're going to progress in this hobby. My thing is, I'm bored. You know what I mean? I've been doing this a long time, and that's why people were on me. Well, Rico, why are you switching from Ocean Revives to Radions? Well, I get to play again. I get to try all these amazing settings. I get to change my spectrum. I get to do all kinds of things. I can make it, thunder, lightning. I can have a disco ball effect. I can do whatever I want. Sky's the limit pretty much on these things.
Sponsored by EagleTech.
There you go. Sponsored by EagleTech. I mean, it's one of these things that you should be proud of yourself at the end of these 12 months on the outcome of that. It is a challenge, and you're helping other people coming out their comfort zone that says, you know what, this is my first time keeping a nano tank. This is my first time anything. It's like going to the gym. I don't like going to the gym by myself. I want a partner. You know why? Because I can feed off of his energy. I can push him. He can push me. We can help each other. And that's what it's about, coming together, sponsoring each other. Okay, yeah, there's some prizes in it. But at the end of the day, your prize is going to be what you did in 12 months with this.
And I honestly bet half the people are going to spend more on their nano tank than they will of the prize. I mean, really, a lot of this is for fun. It's for the challenge. And I really like the friendly competition. I have more fun with that than anything else.
And I think a lot of people are going to be honest when it comes to this. Honestly, I do. And, hopefully it goes well. I'm hoping to go well. And I'm really hoping to really see about getting this stuff into these Reefapaloozas and stuff like that, figuring out a way to keep it going. That's what I want to do. I want to see more of this stuff. Take pride in, aquascaping your tank versus throwing a pile of rocks in it like a lot of reefers do. Just take pride like you see these freshwater guys do. Go ahead.
I think a lot of people are going to be surprised about how much they learn keeping a nano tank that they can implement into their big tanks and do better with them.
You can keep a nano tank for 12 months. Let me tell you, it's over from that point on. You could keep a big tank with no problem. You can sneeze. You can probably take a bath in a huge tank. Trust me. You can keep a nano tank. You're fine on the big tank. So, yeah.
So Devin, what's the topic in today's? Did you guys hit on the topic at all?
We started on it, got distracted. So the original topic, if you could do like a do-over or change your tank, what would you change? This kind of started because I'm getting my tank warranted, and they're going to give me a new tank. So I was kind of thinking, what would I change on it, and what would I do? So I was kind of talking to other people the last little bit of, what kind of tweaks or ways would you improve it, or if you had your tank and could do it again, what would you change?
What happened to your tank?
So the tank overall is good. When I got a custom tank, it's like Starfire, Peninsula. I completely designed and got it built. But in the glass, there's these hazy lines in the Starfire glass.
Ooh.
I have no idea what from, but it was so I contacted the tank manufacturer. I didn't even ask for a new tank, nothing. And they said they were they're like, oh yeah, we'll just have to build you a new tank, blah, blah, blah. So I'm completely amazed and blown away, like this amazing service. So
why aren't you plugging them? Who is it? Plug them.
So it's Concept Aquariums. They're in Calgary, Alberta, in Canada. So if anyone in Canada, they're an amazing company. Outstanding customer service. I mean, I've had my tank for a year and a half, and there's these lines that were in my glass, and they just said, okay, we're going to do it. They said they've only seen it once before, and he said it was more effort to buff it out than it was to try and make a new tank. So, but now...
And they're going to let you give them any dimension.
So what are you going to change?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I feel like I should at least do a little bit of an upgrade if I'm going through all the effort of transferring everything to a new tank, because I mean, it's going to be a lot of work. So so far what I'm thinking, I'm going to make it a little wider. Like right now it's 5.5, 6 feet by 20 wide, 18 tall. So I'm probably going to sneak it into more, say 2 foot wide. So 24, then 22 to 24 tall. A couple other issues I've had. Yeah, so it's probably going to add about 40 gallons or so to the tank. But like right now, my water level is very high. I can only run my pumps and wave makers about halfway, or otherwise it's going to spill water out. And then because I have no equipment on the far peninsula end of the tank, it's a little harder for flow down there. So I generally try and rock the whole water column to get flow down there. So like one of the things too I'm considering, I have a higher water like drop in my water level from the brim of the tank, so I can actually push more water through and have more wave action without it risk about it spilling out. So those are my main things so far. For the sump wise, I used to have a refugium area. I took that out and it's turned to my frag section. So if I add 4 inches to the tank width, that should also mean I can add 4 inches to my sump. So I'm thinking if maybe I can, put it like a long refugium along the back 2 chambers between the skimmer and the frag section. I'm just trying different ideas of how I can improve it. So that's kind of what sparked a lot of this conversation. So I was kind of curious to hear from other people as well. If you had your current tank that you have, if you could change or if you could redo it, what would you change? What would you do? Like what do you see would make an improvement on it?
Go bigger.
Yeah. This is why the Nano challenge is actually kind of interesting, because everyone always goes bigger. Like my first reef tank was a 12-gallon fluval edge, and then I had a 16-gallon innovative marine, I had a 24-gallon, then I had a 30-gallon, I have a 100 and something gallon. So everyone always goes up and up and up. So and I did really enjoy the Nano, so it'll be kind of fun. That's why I'm kind of trying to jump on this challenge with you guys.
I talked to Mike, man. Even Mike Pillay is going bigger. I think he's going to make that move on the 500.
Is he doing a Nano 2 to join us?
You know what? I didn't hit him up, but his soon-to-be wife, talked to my wife. So
you should get him in.
I don't know. Should I?
I think the more the merrier. I think it'll be fun.
You know what? We can make that call and find out. Right, Cruz?
I don't know. I think reef tanks are really expensive now, so that Nano might cost at least like $2,000, $2,500 these days.
It can be very cheap or very expensive.
Yep.
Yeah, depending on what you want to go with.
That's an inside joke, by the way.
Yeah.
Right. No, you had
yours with your Apex and your Trident, and it'll be like this little 10-gallon tank with like this giant stuff behind it.
After MACNA, I'll be honest with you. This is an inside thing, and I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I'll tell you what.
Okay.
After MACNA,
yeah,
I walked away, and I did not want to hear another damn thing about Trident. I did. Terrence knows what I'm talking about. I didn't want to hear one more thing. I was through after that.
So you're saying I did my job?
Yep.
Hey, I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Rico knows more about than he can handle, so I think you did a good job.
Oh, hey, let me just put it like this: get Terrence going if you want to. Go ahead.
Tell me more.
I'm gonna make sure I bring my microwave and pop some popcorn. Let me just say that. Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay, side question: who's all going to MACNA next year? I'm actually going to make it to a conference, so a bunch of you guys better show up.
I'll be there. I'm trying to hope that they ask Mike to speak, because Mike don't like to go anywhere unless he's being asked to speak. I'm trying to get him to go
and paid,
but I'll be there.
Excellent.
What did you say, Sarah?
I said and paid.
Oh, okay.
Good luck.
Yeah. But yeah, so what are you going to do, Devin? Are you coming or what? Are we going to hit the slots? Or you're a married man now. Can you grab your pants, reach down deep, see if they're still there?
Oh, she wants to come, but yeah, no, I'm going for sure, guaranteed.
Okay.
It's in Vegas. Vegas is cheap to get to.
I'm not sure where I'm going yet. I fancy MACNA or Reeferpalooza, but obviously it's expensive for me to get over there from either one of the places. So I've got to choose wisely.
They have cheap non-stops from over there to Vegas, right?
Yep. They do it from everywhere.
The cheapest really, just for a flight straight over there. You're talking £600 really, especially that time of year. That's going to be like the minimum.
What is that? What is that in American money? Like
in American, you talk that's
real money.
600's about
It's like $900.
It's about it's what?
How much?
Like $900.
No, I don't think it's 900, but it's about 750, 758, something like that, and that's without accommodation.
In general,
yeah. Go ahead.
In general, Vegas is probably one of the cheapest places you can go to. Like, at least for me, like in Canada, like there is packages from anywhere from like $400 and up. Probably the cheapest I went was like $4 something. Last time I went was like $650 with hotel, flight, everything. So it's probably one of the more affordable ones to actually get to for those that don't live like a state away.
Well, I think we're actually getting a stand at Reefapalooza, New York. My aquarium box stand. So I think, if anything, I'll be going there. And then if I do go to MACNA, that'll be more personal, like Aaron's Aquarium.
You should.
I think.
Do it.
You know what I mean?
Do it. Okay.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question for a second. How many of you guys use a product like Alexa or the Google product or, those kinds of voice-controlled products?
I use the Google Home.
I use the Google Alexa.
My wife. I have Alexa trigger my Reef Link, which triggers my Apex.
Okay. So I guess that's probably 3 or 4 of you guys probably out of what do we have on here? 8 total?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So how about in the chat? Do any of you guys use Alexa or Google? Yes, I would love to see some integration with Neptune. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
All right, I got to quit talking about this. My Alexa keeps going off. Every time I say Alexa, it answers me.
Alexa, buy 10,000 Dom Perignon.
No. I didn't mute this thing.
I think that would be that'd be a great feature, Terrence. So I would support that.
That's good feedback. I can't believe that it's 50% of the people, but I guess we're all pretty tech kind of geeky kind of people. So
yeah, we got another one in the comment.
You go right here and order stuff off of Amazon. Why not have it tied into Apex too?
In this hobby, you will become. I mean, everything is just being integrated. Everything's just tech now, and most people actually here on my live stream are a lot of IT people.
Mm-hmm.
I see the most. A lot of IT.
Yeah.
So
I'm pretty techie myself, so I mean that always piqued my interest. Any kind of integration, automation I can do, I love it. So that's why.
So Rico, let me tell you about the Trident.
Tell me more.
I don't mute. I'll be back. My wife's calling.
Hey, Devin.
Yeah.
Check this out. You said you're IT dude, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was reading a thing last week where last year before last, a casino in China got hacked by somebody that went in through their aquarium controller.
Really?
I didn't hear about
that. What it was, they just said a smart aquarium, but somebody hacked through their.
I can give you a little bit of info on that.
It wasn't.
And what is not known, because I've tried to track down just about everything, and what is known is that this particular casino had an aquarium controller and the casino had an intrusion. And the company who sells the intrusion detection software decided to create a really good marketing piece that described the intrusion through the aquarium controller. And that is the only information that's been known, because the intrusion technology company, who I have contacted in a myriad of ways to try to get more information on this, because we don't know if it's our product or anybody else's product. We do know that with our particular product, it's impossible really to go in and do what they say was done. What is likely to have happened, regardless of whomever's product it was, is that port forwarding was likely on, or there was a port that was open. And the people, came in that way and did some other kind of things that I don't necessarily understand. And it was basically laid at the footsteps of the aquarium controller, and it made for a really good white paper marketing piece. And there's a lot of those things. If you're in the tech industry, which I've been my entire career, there's lots of these marketing. I've written them myself. It's been part of my job, where you actually want to say how great your stuff is. And so you use examples of how it worked here or how it worked there. And you try to find the most crazy thing. So it will get picked up in the press, which is what happened here. And there's no other information other than that's out there on it. The big takeaway here is why, and I'm not trying to turn this into a commercial, why as much as people don't like cloud services, having a cloud service in terms of getting into your home is it's a much better way to go than using port forwarding or any of those kinds of things on a controller or any IoT type device. Anyway, that's what I know.
Just one quick kind of tip for a lot of you guys on the techie side. What I do, I don't port forward anything out of my house. I have a VPN on my router. So I just open an app and turn on my VPN and I can access anything like I'm in my house. That way there's nothing exposed to the outside. So like, cause I have like IP cameras and certain things, that's like something I do so that nothing's external outside. So
that's one of the biggest worries, isn't it, for a lot of people at the moment is the smart home becoming, an easy target with, obviously, I think there was also something about somebody getting hacked through a light bulb or something like that, because obviously you've got, your smart bulbs and your smart fridges and stuff like that. It's very easy access to get into your home via all these different things. And because they're appliances, their software, so to speak, isn't as like, stringent. Yeah.
Well, they can't update it as secure. So that's the other dilemma is that many of these devices, if the company even exists and continues, they don't produce, firmware updates and whatnot. For instance, there was just one that went out yesterday, I believe, for the Airport Express for Apple, for that crack thing that came out. And so there's a lot of these kinds of things that occur. And you have to be super vigilant with all of these devices and things that you have in your home. And I think the best possible way to prevent bad things from happening is buy from reputable companies that are going to be around, that are going to update and tell you when something's wrong, as opposed to the cheapest thing that you can find out there. Yeah. That's really your best defense.
Yeah, like drop cams and using drop cams and stuff like that. I mean, if you go through all the home security systems and stuff like that, if you notice Google's, I'm just using them. We know Google's going to be around a long time. And if Google picks you up, that product or that particular line, that's a good line. They see potential. It's going to be around forever if they pick it up. So really doing your research, how long the company's been around, what's going on with the company, trying to get some more insight when it comes to, using certain products. It's definitely
the thing is as well, you're only ever so safe as well, though, aren't you? Because look at what's just recently happened with Apple. Now, Apple, they're like the dogs when it comes to everything that is everything technology. But they've just had a flaw in their iOS that was so simple that people could just get into the phone and change the codes and do everything. And even they was like, what? You know what I mean? This is like the most simple thing. And even them, so you can only
that was on the MacBook.
So thin. Yeah,
that's on the MacBook. You're absolutely right, on the MacBook where you can type root and get in. But the fact is that, as stupid as it is to hear that happened, it's instantaneously patched. And with many other things that are out there, you're never even going to know that it's happened, or that you have a device that's still like that, or there is a patch. I mean, and it comes down to your stereo receiver. It comes down to everything that's now connected, your TV, all of that stuff. And it is a little bit scary. But the most scary thing really is doing things like port forwarding and whatnot. Because what happens is that any of these people that are out there that want to do harm, there's bots and everything else. And all they do is scan and look for open ports. And as soon as they see anything open, they just come in and say, then, okay, here's a target. And they unleash all sorts of hell on it. And it happens, from our engineering team here, they say they can put, an open box out there on the internet and, it'll be compromised in a matter of minutes. And it's really, really important to keep, to not have all that port forwarding and whatnot going on, especially if you don't know what you're doing, because you're just asking to open the door to have people come right on in.
Yep, can be sketchy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a little bit skeptical of Alexa because they did the Prime Music in Canada a while ago. I'm like, Alexa, play some music, and she's like, oh, here's a wedding playlist. I'm like, how'd you know I'm getting married? So,
oh yeah, that's definitely going to be there, no doubt.
I know.
All right, guys, I got to bust out of here. I got 4 o'clock. It was great chatting with you guys as always, and putting up with me.
Thanks,
You know?
Terrence. Consider resetting that Nano for our contest.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll see what I'm going to do about that. I don't know if I can hit the once a week photo thing. I don't think I'm going to be able
Cell
to
phone
meet
click,
that requirement.
done.
I'll make an exception for you.
Oh, okay. Thanks. Well, I'll see. Maybe I'll do that. Take care, guys.
Consider it.
Talk to you later.
Terrence. All the crazy things that can happen with technology, eh? I wonder if it actually was breaking into an aquarium controller. Huh? I didn't even hear that one. I'm kind of curious now. But
yeah, they didn't say what controller it was. They just said a smart aquarium.
Okay. Yeah, port forwarding would make sense because I mean that would be the easiest way to get into a network.
There was something about the I think it was the Alexa or the Alexa or something that there was a button or there was something that if you pressed the button on the Alexa or had the code or something, you could access somebody else's. They've changed it now. But on the original ones, there used to be something that it would be very, very easy for somebody else to get access to your Alexa. You know what I mean? I don't know what it was. I just vaguely remember that.
I think there is a USB port for updating or something, and they could plug into it and they could tweak something and would give them access to like spy on it, or there's something like that.
Wow.
In the original one. Craziness.
Wow.
Yep. So,
how many people did you see that's actually going to attend the MACNA 18?
There was a handful. Okay, in the chat, how many of you guys are going to MACNA this year? It's in Vegas. I think it's one of the more affordable ones to go to. So I'm definitely all over it.
Reefapalooza is actually the affordable ones. MACNA's are a little more.
If you're in the States.
With this Nano challenge, by the way.
You don't know.
Because every single time it's been mentioned, I've not been around.
All right.
So I've vaguely heard about it, but I've not been around to get involved.
Are you going to be a sponsor for the UK?
Well, that's what I mean. I heard about it, so I thought, well, obviously, I've got the ability to help out. I don't fully know what I'm helping out to.
It's Devin's show. I'll let Devin talk to you about it.
Good thing you're here, Michael, because your name's on our list already.
I know. I like I said, I vaguely know. I know it's a contest, and I know it's stringy, but I don't know the full details, and I don't even know if I can get involved or anything else. I don't know.
Yes, you can get involved. All right, so there's going to be 2 classes. It's 25 gallons or less, which is the Nano class. 10 gallons or less is the Pico class. You can't have an external sump, so it has to be an all-in-one type of deal or just a regular tank with hang-on. That's fine. So it starts...
Can it have a canister? Can it have a canister filler?
As long as it doesn't exceed 25 gallons. So you can't have like a giant Fluval FX5 on your 2-gallon tank.
Yeah. Like a hang on the back filtration, like all in one, like the hang on the back filters, like you know,
like a 20-gallon tank with a canister. As long as it's not like a 25-gallon tank with a giant canister. Like as long as it's reasonable. We're trying to keep the water volume 25 gallons or less. Basically, what it boils down to. So it starts January 1st. Entries close the January 31st. So if you're in, you got to commit to it by the 31st. So by the end of January. So no separate sumps. All ones are okay. Hang-on filters okay. It's for adding coral. So it's going to be 1-inch frags or less. If it's zoas or that type of stuff, like a 1-inch frag disc or less. If it's LPS, like a single head type of deal.
Do you have to add coral?
No, but that's one of the judging. So the judging is going to be on best aquascape, best overall growth, best coloration, most creative, most inspirational, and people's choice. So it'll be a voting one for the people's choice. So it's going to be a couple different ways to do it. Yeah, so you can pre-start your live rock, all that jazz, but you have to wait until January 1st to officially start it and add anything live to it. For lights, all that equipment, that's 100% up to you. So for keeping accountable, there's going to be a photo a week. So once a week, kind of like an update photo on Instagram, and then once a month, do a video update on it. So those are kind of the main things. Like Rico's Nano Challenge 2018 is the hashtag for Instagram. Video title, you want a Rico's Nano Challenge in it. And then if you're in it, like committing, then comment on Rico's original video, which is on the bottom of this webpage or on Rico's channel, just to make sure everyone's in the comments, make sure we can track it all. There's a whole slew of contests, sponsors, and prizes. including yourself
Yes.
with a question mark because you just said you would do something at some point in time, I guess. So well,
But I'll do a UK My Aquarium box, but I'll do like a sort of like a special one, which will be more valuable than the normal ones.
That's what Mike is doing for the States. He's doing Constellation 3, Constellation, My Aquarium boxes.
Yep.
How many?
3 of them.
He's doing
3 of them.
Yep.
And he's hooking them up. So no challenge to you on that, right? He fell out.
He's like 3 too much. Click.
Quick, I'm out of here.
Lost reception.
Right. Scared them all.
Yeah. So there's a ton of sweet prizes. Honestly, I'm definitely do it just for fun. It'd be sweet to win something cool. But at the same time, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to do this, and I love the friendly challenge. If it's on a 1-inch frag plug, does the frag have to be 1 inch as well?
I keep getting kicked out. I've been kicked out about 15 times already.
We thought you were just scared of the 3 aquarium boxes.
No, I've been kicked out about. I like get 5 minutes and then I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
You put a block on me, haven't you, so I don't talk too long.
Cut off.
So also with sponsorships, real quick, all contenders that are entering this must be subscribed to all of the sponsors. That is part of the rule.
Mm-hmm. I think
as well.
Yeah, I don't know if I have that in there. I'll add that to the list. 2 other things. So the RFG.
Can you provide a section where there's links to every single channel, because there's probably channels that I'm not subscribed to. I don't know where they are.
Nope, definitely. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to go through this website, and then every single one of these people, I'm going to link it to their website or YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Still on my to-do list to go find them all. Couple of bonus things. So it was from Aquarium Cabinet Solutions. It's going to hook up the first 20 entries in the UK with some Miracle Mud and ATM Colony. So that's pretty sweet. 20. I know.
20.
I wish I was in the UK right now.
Damn.
And the other bonus is 25% off.
You know what the funniest thing is? The
What?
only UK entrance that you're going to end up getting is like me, Nick, and probably Haley and Woody. And that's
we're gonna make sure. I think Paul and stuff is going to, reach out to more of you guys out there, and you could do it as well to get more people that are over there, even though it might be small over there, to participate in this. So
I'll make sure. Obviously, now I know about it. I'll make sure. I get the word out on it. I actually have got a tank on the way. I think I'm picking it up on Friday, so I'll be able to get involved as well, even though I haven't been officially challenged.
Don't worry, that can be arranged. I still have to make a video. Quick thing, Ed.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm Aaron's Aquarium. I need to be officially challenged.
Challenge accepted. All right. I'll see what I can do once I make a video. Ed, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Thanks for the congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, Ed, for doing that. That's awesome.
Yeah, much appreciated. Thanks, buddy. So I still got to make a video, so I will see what I can do about an official challenge.
So, Ed, Michael, real quick, what are you going to do as far as the My Aquarium box for the UK? How many boxes are you willing to do? Devin is keeping, so he can get all this, document this too, from what's coming from who, how many of the prizes, what the prizes are going to be.
Well, what I'll do is I'll throw in a My Aquarium box, which will have around approximately a value of £100.
Nice.
£100? Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Let me log in. I'll update the website so I don't forget about it once I forget my password. So someone else is asking, if you're only allowed a 1-inch frag, are you allowed to have multiple 1-inch frags of the same coral?
Yeah, if that's what you want.
Yep.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you want have 100 frags of the same coral and 1-inch frags of that, then so be it.
Excellent. There you go. So in the chat, do you guys have any other questions or stuff that you feel that we need to clarify on? Let us know, because I'm sure there'll be other random questions. I will work on getting links to all the respective sponsor channels in the next little bit, in the next couple days, anyways. But I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I like these little friendly challenges. It's gonna be awesome.
Right. Also, keep in mind, we were asking for people to start immediately doing the Nano challenge, like doing videos, just to get the word out there, to try to potentially get more people in on it. We do have a lot of entries already, but let's get more entries, and with more entries, possibly will come more sponsorships. So keep that in mind. You know, don't just wait till the 21st, you know, when it initially starts and we make our videos. But it would help those that are willing to do them in a timely manner, you know, like sooner than later, would be greatly appreciated.
Okay. They're asking rockfella and enemies. Can you have more than one of them? Yep. Fair game.
Yes.
A rockfella tank would be really cool too, actually. Like that was one of my potential thoughts, but yeah, I think it'd be awesome to have one. What about height? Leather salt is up to 20, 24, 25 gallons. So as long as it's less than that, it can be, you can have a 4-inch, 3-foot tank if you want. It's just basically off water volume. So it's got to be classified as a nano. I mean, you can't have a 4-gallon tank with a 50-gallon sump underneath it. It's got to be no external sump. That's the main reason, is so people don't have these giant water volume type of things. Canister filters, I see this fair game as long as it's, you know, you don't have a 5-gallon filter canister like an FX5 on a 25-gallon tank, because then you're bumping it up and sneaking it past that 25-gallon mark. So yeah, you got to kind of keep yourself honest. So somebody wants GSP carpet on the bottom. Can they do 21-inch frags of GSP?
You know what? 1-inch frags is 1-inch frags, man.
Yep,
How you want?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, you could totally do it. Can the tank be relocated mid-contest? Like if you want to move it somewhere else in your house? I mean, hey, that's all up to you.
Exactly.
Gargonians, what is the size limit on them?
What about Gargonians? What is it?
Is there any size limit for Gargonians?
Yeah, anything, your scolies, brain corals, any of these things like that, your euphyllias, trachees, stuff like that, 4 inches and under.
Okay, so I'm going to say scolies, brain corals. What else did you have on that list?
I need you to get on Devin's thing.
All right, so scolies, brain corals. Yeah, I don't know. Different LSPSs. Yeah. What was the so 25 gallons or less is kind of the 25 to 10 gallons is the nano class, and 10 gallons and less is the pico class. So there is a few separate prizes that are going to be just for the pico. So if you want to do a tiny tank, you can do the pico one. Otherwise, 25 and under for the main one. A-cans, yep, A-cans are good. Same thing though, like get a 1-inch frag disc, not a giant colony. So,
did you guys hit Terrence up for sponsorship?
We're trying to get him to join our competition. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. See if he'll come in on our competition, but
we'll see what happens. If he joins the competition, maybe he'll figure out something. But feedback. All right, there, Fish. So, Fish, can you mute yours? I think that was coming from your side. Yeah, it sounds like you had YouTube and feedback going on in the background.
He's on my level.
Hey, I have seen...
He's asking about Pulse and Xenia.
I have...
Size limit of that.
You can have a bunch of mini frags if you want.
That's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have a bunch of mini ones of the same colony.
If that's what you want, sure.
Okay.
Yep, you can.
Who's is doing Manjano?
Yeah?
Yeah, Mahana.
Yeah, Manjano and Aptasia frags.
Beautiful. You can have as many Aptasias as you want.
He's gonna spray paint. He's gonna spray paint them. So nobody buy any special sprinkly glittery frags from Cruise after the competition that are on special offer.
My wife's going to comment so people can. She finally did her video.
Okay.
Her video. No, her video for her. She had to set up a YouTube channel, and she did a video because I guess they wasn't allowed people to sub to her YouTube channel for LuLaRoe. So she's actually going to come in and comment. So you guys, your girlfriends, wives. I don't like to say the word mistress just in case Devin's new wife is listening and gets mad at me. But so there she is. So if you guys want to, show support, please do. My wife is working really hard to get this clothing line off the ground. Please go over there, sub her channel, and get all your girlfriends or wives to check her out. She should be in about 2 weeks ready to go. So for the States, I'm sure we could probably work out something with the UK as well. There's ways of dodging taxes on packages. Did I say that?
You did not say that on air.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, in Canada, I think dry goods is fine. Clothing and stuff for Canada, right, Devin?
Oh yeah.
That's like
no. The only issue is like live corals. If it's live, there's a potential issue. If it's anything dry, I had a different side business. I ship stuff to the States all the time. It's honestly no big deal. You have to fill out a form with like what it is and the value of it on a custom form. That's it. It's the only difference. And that's
now, is there a price difference like with the UK where you get into if it's a certain amount, you got to pay tax, whatever? I don't know how it works for you guys.
For Canada or the UK?
Canada.
If someone ships something, you're supposed to put what the value is on it. I mean, you could say gift if it's something that you're giving somebody. If you're technically should have a value on it, so it's up to the import country. Yeah. So it also depends on
the value added tax. The VATs.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so it depends. Like sometimes, like less than $20, they don't care. If it's like $100, you might get a duty fee for it.
So now, do we pay that or you pay that?
The receiver pays it because they're the one receiving it in the country.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll work that out because we'll figure that out. We'll talk Devin offline in case anybody female wise. we'll work that out.
Yeah.
Dude, you got a little bit of brown on your nose.
Yeah, do I? Here, let me get this out. Let me
wipe that off.
There you go. So there it is. My wife's in there. So appreciate guys all the love and support. Thanks, Devin, for our little spot of your time.
No problem. I got our channel open another tab, so I'll check it out after the stream.
Okay.
So good stuff, Jamie. I see you got the first video. I like your title of coming out of the closet.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was great.
So, anyways, I just got off the phone with Lang.
Yeah.
And he wants me to set up a special tank.
Ooh.
To show you guys what's up.
Excellent. I have a feeling this is. Are we using it? Okay, I won't say anything.
He's not going to reveal it to me until next week.
Okay.
So.
I have an idea, but I want to see it. I'm curious now. Awesome. In the comments, Brandon just impulse bought a 20-gallon tank. You are so in. I love hearing that. That's awesome.
Wow. Congratulations. Yeah. I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah, awesome. Whose tank is that new huge one in the background? So Rico's is the current one in the background. I believe it was Fish Friends that had the other newer tank in the background. It's a good size one. So probably one of the two you're looking at. Just that, controllers and the center brace. Oh, how I like the controllers and center brace. Yeah, it was a good spot for it, actually. Good use of space. So, question. Okay, so actually, I want some feedback from you guys. On my tank, since I'm getting a new one of similar, slightly larger proportions, is there anything that you guys think I should change or do with it? Since I'm going through the effort of transferring it from one tank to another.
Stick your tank back up.
Here, let me join the chat on the iPad and I'll walk over there. Give me 1 sec. I have to invite myself to Hangouts. But yeah, I'm kind of curious to see if you guys got any other good ideas, because I got a few, but I feel like it's going to be a ton of work to try and move this and empty everything and put it in the next one. So I feel like I should try and, if there's any little tweaks I can do while I'm at it, what might be little more fun.
Yeah, anything you want to change, that's the time to do it.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just trying to decide what all do I want to change. I got a few ideas, but I'm sure there's stuff that I'm not considering. So
You already have a tall stand, right?
I do. I sometimes question if I should try and make it a little bit shorter, keep it tall, but I think I want to keep it like be able to reach everything. So if I make the tank a little bit higher, I may chop it down an inch or two, or just go with it. All right, so give me
a higher stand in a shallow tank.
Yeah, it's 3-foot stand now. I don't know my password. Let me try on the phone.
Yeah, my next one's gonna be somewhere between 36 and 40.
Yeah, mine's 3 feet high right now, which is actually a pretty good size.
Ask him to do a drop off, Dev.
Yeah.
200-gallon drop off.
Yep. Okay. Am I saying rimless? Yeah, I think I'm gonna say rimless. The other question is reefing with O giveaway. Yes, we're gonna do that soon. Probably in about 20 minutes we'll do it. I gotta get him back on here before we do it. But we will daily reefing. Another inch of glass on the new height. Thanks, Jeff. Much appreciated, buddy. I'm thinking it's right now. Okay, so right now it's 18 inches tall. I'm either gonna do 4 more inches, just because I'm going 4 wider to 22, or I'm gonna do so it's either 22 or 24 high. That's the one thing I haven't figured out yet.
Go 30. Go 30. 30 front to back.
I'd
Minimum.
go wider before I go deeper.
Well, I think I'm gonna.
I'd go wider before you went deeper as well.
Yeah, I'll probably do both.
30 front to back all day long, and maybe 24 high.
So it is going to be 24. Now, my one consideration is eventually this is going on the second floor of the house. So I don't want to get too crazy and have a big weight issue down the road. So I'm trying to keep that.
Get the floor reinforced now.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Is this going to work?
Do a splayed tank, Dev.
What is that?
Splayed tank is where at the moment you're 20. Are you 24 front to back? At the moment?
I'm 20 wide right now.
You're 20?
Yeah.
So one end is like against the wall. You could do it this way. The end against the wall is 20, and the peninsula end is 30.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
So when you do it end on,
Mm-hmm.
then it'll be splayed out.
Huh. That's an interesting way to do it. Call error.
It can never be normal, can you, Nick?
No. Why be normal when you can be fun?
Why be normal when you can be special, eh, Nicholas?
Exactly. I'm very special. Very not normal.
Nice.
And that's why I bloody love you.
You wait till you see my Nano. Oh my god.
I can't. To be honest, like I was being a bit thingy before, just so that you talk about the competition again. But I've been thinking about it, and my Nano's going to be. I think everybody's Nano's going to be amazing in their own little ways, aren't they? But I think I'm going to try and break the mold a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I've already spoken to you about it a little bit, Nick. But yeah, I think I'm going to just try and see if I can do something. I don't want to go too far. But we're going to have fun with it anyway.
I can't wait to see everybody's tanks, because everybody, you know, with everything at stake, people are actually going to be putting a lot of work and effort into it, not just throwing a pile of rocks in there.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Because it's not just, it is a fun little contest and things like that. But at the same time, there's a lot, there's a lot at stake. There's an Apex, there's $100 worth of this, there's flipping a load of corals from Rico, there's this, there's that, there's the other, there's a lot available.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think you're going to see a lot of effort. It's going to be nice.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a lot of fun. Okay.
Yeah, I do as well.
So current tank, it's a little over 5.5 feet long. It's 6'1" total, including overflow. Hopefully you guys see this all right. Width-wise, 20 inches wide, 18 tall. So I'm definitely going to go to 2 feet wide, so 24 inches, and then probably a few inches higher. The end here, I got my 5 and a bit inches. I have the overflow with 3 drains, comes down my light bar. I was thinking if I can find a better way to mount the light bar against the back, I might be able to squeeze a couple more inches out of the length of it.
Do you want to keep it peninsula, or would you consider like a ghost overflow or something on the side?
Well, I want to keep it peninsula because eventually it is going to be a peninsula. I kind of built it this way for a future location where it's going to be in like a year or two. I'm going to put it at the top of the stairs where the banister is. So underneath, so that comes down. I got my overflow. It comes down into the sump, so it all overflows into here, goes into the sock, and I got my skimmer chamber. I got a couple DIY media reactors behind it. The next comes over. This used to be my refugium. It's now my frag section. And then it goes over into the return pump chamber. So, I mean, one of those baffles is useless. I can kill one of those. And then I was also thinking if the tank is 4 inches wider, then I'll have another 4 inches below. So I was considering making a channel along one of the sides, like, say, there to there type of thing, and turn that into, like, a refugium chamber. Just for some shade or something. Might be useful. But I'm trying to think what else I should be considering or doing or changing for kind of almost like a do-over on the tank.
Do you want to pimp it out a little bit, Dev? Visually?
I'm up for any ideas. What do you got?
I got some ideas for you, but I'll have to draw them out and stuff.
Okay. So the length...
Wider, those lights going to be enough?
Yep. No, they have a good 2-foot spread on them already. So, like, even on the wall behind it, you can see it. So the lights will definitely do it. Like a little more depth, all that stuff should be fine. So it's just all the little things I'm trying to consider. Like it's kind of like a very random, kind of different opportunity to be able to have your tank over again, which is in a way it's kind of a pain to move it all, but the other type of thing, it's kind of fun to have that opportunity. So.
How brave are you going to be though, Dev?
Well, okay. So keep the consideration. Keep in mind that it's eventually going to be at the top of my stairs where the banister is. So it's going to be a peninsula that way. So it needs to fit that eventual location. If I get too crazy, I'm sure it will cost me a fortune. So I'm trying to keep it somewhat reasonable. Like at the current time, I expect, I'll have to pay for a new stand and sump. But I know they'll do the tank. But if I go too crazy, I'm sure it might cost me a bunch to get it done. So we'll see. So I'm trying to keep it somewhat reasonable. So I don't know. If you got any crazy ideas, let me know.
My head is full of crazy ideas.
Yeah.
Whether they're any good or not is a different story.
All right. Well, fill me in on some later. So it's a very interesting situation. But I do want to give like a huge shout out to Concept Aquariums, the company that did it. Like that, they're actually standing behind it, and like a year and a bit later, they're still gonna like help me out and like warranty, and which is awesome. Fish Frenzy, thank you, man. That's awesome.
I've got a question for you.
Yep.
Dev.
Mm-hmm.
How excited are you now? Now I know you love your tank and everything about it and all of that, but how excited are you now to rip it down and start again?
I'm not excited for that day of transferring it, but the idea of tweaking it and customizing the little things that I would improve, I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah, because I know, like, obviously, I my tanks don't stay up longer than a year because I get itchy feet. I'm already getting itchy feet with this one.
Yeah.
And this one has only been 3 months. I think it's because I've got nothing to do, especially with this one, because now it's sort of like it's running. The Triton's putting in the good, the Refusion's taking out the bad, and I'm sort of like out of the loop and I'm just watching. And because I'm not buying corals and fish every week like I was doing previously, I've not really got any input to the tank, and I'm sat there like, I want to do something. I want to mess with an app, or I want to do something, and I can't because that's what I did last time, and I messed everything up. So I'm trying to be hands off with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I just want to do something, and I bet like in your situation now, it's like, ooh, I can do something. I can have a bit of a play. So that's why I'm getting more tanks.
No, definitely. See, I'm
getting 4 more new tanks.
I have to work within my 2 tank limit. Fish Frenzy, you're amazing, and thank you very much. On the comment about the tank, I really love the build. The one thing I literally just redid my whole control panel with the apex and all that stuff like on the edge. So I'm like, I got to rebuild this all again. I don't really want to spend all the money to redo those parts, but I do love the building. Like I have a lot of fun building and setting up of a system. So that part will be good. It's just the part of redoing it sucks, but it's fun at the same time. It's a trade-off, but there's lots of like little things like the fact that I can't crank my pumps too high because the water level's too close to the brim. So if I raise a couple inches, and plus make the weirs a bit deeper, then I can, have more wave action in the tank without risking it spilling and that type of stuff. So there's lots of things like that will be nice little tweaks to have, especially with the long peninsula style.
What's the company called again, ReefDudes? Was it Concept Aquariums?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I had another person I know had issues with the tank, and the company basically was like, "Nope, you're on your own." And Concept actually, I know another buddy has a fish company, and he used building a customer's tank, and something buggered up and they had an issue. They completely replaced his tank for him. So, yeah, I'm definitely impressed with their support. Like amazing customer service.
It Calgary?
Yep.
I'm gonna check these guys out.
Yeah,
oh, the website's under construction.
Yeah, I saw that too when I went to go look at them, but he emailed me back right away. But yeah, so they're a custom tank builder, and eventually, like when I originally did my tank, I made the whole thing in SketchUp. I sat there for like a month, probably tweaking my design and changing it, and sent them all the plans, and no, they made exactly how I wanted it. So it's been awesome.
Hey, what's the name of that CAD program you use?
Google SketchUp. It's pretty easy to use actually.
I use that. It's good.
Yep. I did a video a couple weeks ago where somebody about how to connect two sumps, and that's what I was using in the background. Was that one just to do like a bit of a mock-up as I was explaining it? Yeah, so it's a great program. It takes a little bit at first. Once you get used to it, it's pretty quick and easy to use. Now, O's contest. So let me ping him and get him on here, because he wanted me to give away something for him for his 1K subscriber contest. Okay, so I'm going to ping in the links, and give me 1 second. I'll be back.
Is that a free program or is that a paid program?
They do both. They do the pro version is the charged one, and they do a regular one, which you can. It doesn't have quite as many like tool sets, but there's enough. I just use the free version. It's always been enough for me.
SketchUp Pro, that just sounded like a paid program.
Yeah, the Pro is a pay one. I think it's called SketchUp Build now, the free one.
Yeah, when you install it, it's kind of like the Pro one they install, and then you just, once after your free trial's up, you just use the normal one. But for doing like mock-ups and tank designs, like the free one's all you need. You only need the Pro if you're doing like professional, high-level, crazy stuff. You
can even create your own colors, create your own, like if I'm doing a full concept drawing for a client, I'll draw the whole room and put wallpaper on and flooring in and furniture and all of that. And you can import your own photographs. So if somebody sends me a logo or a brand to put onto the aquarium or the cabinetry, I can take it from a photograph and superimpose it. Yeah. So it's even the free version is very versatile.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's pretty cool. I've never tried going that deep into it.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not difficult either. You just import image and then place it.
Nice.
And you can stretch it. You can scale it. You can do all kinds of stuff. The really good thing, have you looked into the warehouse?
Yep.
So, for example, say you want to draw a room and you want to put a TV on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than draw the TV yourself, you can import it from the warehouse where somebody else has already done that model.
They actually had like MP40s and stuff in there, so I had like my tank totally.
Yeah.
Here, I'll put on the YouTube background. This was my original mock-ups before I built my tank when I was planning it. So I had, if you can see it. Yeah, so this was kind of my original design, which is pretty much what it is now. I think I only really changed the sump from this. Power heads moved a few things just due to space. It didn't quite fit how I planned it, but this is kind of the basics of how I built my original one. Yeah, I can see my sump definitely changed from there, but I still might change my sump again now. I'm just trying to decide if I should do work in like a refugium, because I want to have the frags in there as well now. Is it a free app? Yes, it is. Google bought them out a couple years ago, and there's a free and a paid version of it, but the free one's all you need. Yeah, I actually plan on using that Synergy or Ghost Overflow initially, but the price of it was like $200 versus the company is like, yeah, it's like $30, $40 for us to just make one out of glass. So I'm like, yeah, it's easier. And if I use that, I might save like an inch, I don't know if it's worth $200 for that 1 inch of tank, but that's kind of the general thing. So Nick, if you got any great ideas, let me know.
I'd make your tank freaky, but I'm not sure if you'd like it.
Well, if I go too crazy, I have a feeling that it might cost me a bunch to do it. So I'm trying to keep it reasonable.
I think it might depend, because the thing is, like Concept Aquariums, I'm guessing they're pushing themselves as like, innovative in what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So they might sometimes, like with companies like myself,
Mm-hmm.
if a client comes my way that asks me to do something that's quite a bit different to something I've done before, then I kind of want to do the project.
Yeah.
So sometimes if the concept is like out there and it's really interesting,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of, as a company, you want to make allowances, because it's an opportunity for you to create something different, and then for people to see it. So it's almost like
That's
promotion for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't make those builds because it's you charge the customer like too much money to do it, then you don't get to build it, and nobody gets to see it.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
it's a swings and roundabout situation with that one. So you might find them more receptive to something a little bit different.
Okay, good to know. Looks like we just lost you there, Nick. Apparently, a few people have been dropping out at certain points. I just messaged Reefing with O because he wants me to do his draw tonight for his 1K subscriber contest. So
Did he get to tell you what he was talking about doing with it, since there was so many people in it?
Kind of. So what I kind of picked up earlier, smash him on there, is so he didn't want to. I mean, Wheel of Death of like 200 people is a little crazy. So I'm thinking I might just use one of the random comment pickers and pick 10 different names, and then those 10 names get to go to the Wheel of Death.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about earlier.
Yeah, which was actually a pretty good call. So I'm going to give him a couple more minutes to see if he's around or not before I do his contest for him, because it's more fun if he's here since he's giving it away. So yeah.
Sorry, I keep get booting off. I'm back.
Yeah. Google's, I don't know, something's funky going on with it the last little while, it seems like. So yeah, I think anyways, I'm probably going to do 4 inches wider, 4 to 6 inches taller. I kind of like the look of it being more wide than it is tall for whatever reason. But that extra couple inches of height's kind of nice too when acros grow up. So either 22 or 24 or tall. So we'll see. As for
I like the shorter aquariums. It gives it that lagoon look.
Mm-hmm. Did I hear fight to the death? You heard Wheel of Death. I guess they could fight to the death, but it's a little hard online. But
are you going to take the opportunity to change the scape up, Dev, or are you going to get it settled and just move over?
I do really like my scape. If I did change it, I may change the right-hand structure, but I think I'm going to leave the left arch because I dig that one.
Right.
So I might change up the right-hand side of it. We'll see. Maybe I'll like join the two structures into one and compress it so it's a little bit shorter to like, add a bit more negative space to the tank. That's kind of my one thought. If I could sneak in an extra inch or two by somehow making the overflow and light stand shorter, then I might do that and sneak a little more space in that way. But all the little things I got to tweak. Because right now I have the 1.5-inch bar bolted to the 2-inch steel stand. So if I can like notch out the steel or just have a flat bar instead of the thicker one there, like I might be able to steal a little bit of space that way. So those are the little kind of things I'm working on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You staying with the sandbed?
Yep. I'm probably going to make it less of a sandbed. Just down to like more like an inch of sand. It goes from anywhere from about, I'd say like 3/4 of an inch up to about 3 and a bit inches on the one side. So I'll probably suck out a bit and make it a bit shallower. But I'll still do sand. I like the look of sand better than bare bottom. So we'll see. That's kind of my initial thoughts, at least. I kind of want a bigger tank. Yeah, this is kind of a little bit of an excuse to make it a little bit bigger without getting too crazy. I would love to go longer, but just because of where it's eventually going, I need to keep it about that length or else I'll be taking out the whole way. So
I think in my challenge nano tank, I'm going to try and do a carpet of GSP because I haven't done that before. I've always been sand. I haven't run a BEB. Sorry, I have run a bare bottom tank, but that wasn't a reef tank. It was for my pufferfish.
Okay.
So I didn't have sand in that. But I don't class that. I don't count that.
Yeah.
So yeah, in the Nano challenge, I think I'm going to try and get a nice carpet of GSP, no sand.
Nice.
And see how that goes. So I'm challenging myself a little bit by trying to do some stuff I haven't done before.
That's good. I have no idea what I'm gonna do yet, but I want to try and use products that I don't normally use and use stuff I don't use. Like, maybe try cycling with a bacteria I've never used. I'm just gonna try and use different stuff. It's more of a chance or an excuse.
Yeah, it's
to
a good opportunity, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. It's a way to try new stuff that I hear you guys or I've heard other people talking about, but I've never tried it. Right. It's a good excuse. All right. I don't know if it was a round, so I'm gonna do the initial round and see if I can get our random finalists to start with. So I just found a little YouTube random comment picker. So let's run this 10 times and we'll see who we can get for names. So just double check. This is his 1K subscriber video. Boom. So who's it going to be? Random comment picker. Start. So, Broke Budget Reef, first one in the finalists. Okay, we need music for this. It's too quiet. Let's cue up some music.
I'm just waiting for my name.
Yeah? Okay, and... we won't get to the suspenseful music yet. Can you hear music? Is it playing?
I don't hear the music.
Ah.
But I got YouTube muted, though.
No, it's not that. It's something up with Chrome. It does that once in a while, but I want to kill my Hangouts window to fix it. All right. Nick's going to have to sing for us.
I have to sing? You want me to sing?
I'm just joking.
You must be...
exclusive. ReefDudes, am I on the list? We don't know yet. If you commented on Reefing with Those 1K contest video, that's all you had to do to enter. So, I don't know. There's 250 comments, so there's no way we're doing 250 spins on the Wheel of Death, because that would be insane.
Oh, you got time.
Yeah, we'd be here all night. I gotta go to a birthday party eventually. How long's it been going on? I don't actually know. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was like 2 months ago or something?
2 months ago. I've been out of the loop for the last 3 weeks, so I'm kind of catching up on things myself. So I run this again. So first finalist. So I'm thinking 10-ish. What do you guys think? What's a good number to work with?
It sounds good. That's what O was talking about earlier was 10.
Okay. All right. So first one.
Unless you want to do like 20. I mean, it's up to you. You're the one going to do it.
Yeah, that's true. What time is it? 4:40. Yeah, we'll stick with 10. Okay. So we got 1. The next random name is Nasotang. All right, so Nasotang's on the finalist list. Dun-dun-dun. Gotta refresh the page every time to make this work. All of them. So what is O giving away? He's giving away a power head, I think. Let me
He's got a choice either or. There's 2 different ones you get to choose from.
So you got a Gyri FX30 or a Vortec MP10 or a Toonsy 1695. You got options. That's pretty sweet.
Man, I could really use an MP10 right now.
If there's a UK winner, then I'll be supplying it on behalf of O. O's going to sort out payment, I think, and stuff, but I'll source it for anybody that...
Nice.
If they win in the UK.
That's mighty kind. Start raffle pick. Where'd my button go? I've never used this website before, so hopefully it works. So 224 comments. There you go. That's how many he had. And it's not working, so let's refresh. There we go. Good pick. So that's a good chunk of entries, actually. Next one is... Danica 74. So there's 3 on the list. Where is O? O is supposed to be here. He said ping him when we do the contest, and he's not responding to me.
He's doing dishes.
So I'm hoping he joins us. I'm kind of delaying a little bit, to be honest, as I use this random name picker since it's nice and slow anyways. Before we go to the next actual one. And Ken Peachko. All right, so we've got 5 people so far. 4 people so far. Yeah. So if you won, which one would you pick? Freshman Reefer. I am supposed to be here, but he's slacking on us. So I am picking 10 finalists for his contest. And he is giving away a Powerhead. And we got Speedy. Speedy made it to the finalist list. So which ones would you guys pick if you won? Would you go for the Gyre, the MP10, or the Toonsy?
I'd go for the MP10 for this new Nano.
Yeah, I'd probably do the same. That or the Gyre. The Gyre would be cool too in a little Nano.
I'd go for the Gyre.
50, so I don't need the Gyre. I need the MP10.
I would take either one. Both good. I don't actually want the Toonsy 695. I'll look that one up later. They're harder because of the models. They're just like numbers. Every product's just a number. Reefing with Ryan.
I like the low profile of the MP10s. You don't have to cord in the tank.
Yeah, that's a big one. If only they could figure a way to do that with the Gyre. Cordless.
That'd be sweet.
5. Yep, that would be pretty awesome. Oh, gotta refresh the page.
I just upgraded to the new controllers for both my gyres. I had the 150 and the 130.
Yeah.
And I just upgraded to the 200 series.
Did it make a difference?
They're nice.
Nice. Huh. G-Man Gordon's in the finalists.
I screwed up my ordering somehow. Somehow I ended up with 2 of the 230 controllers.
Oh, really?
I don't know how I did that. So now I have an extra 230 controller and don't know what to do with it.
Well, you just might as well buy yourself another 230. Sounds like a great excuse. You're halfway there.
Yeah, then I'll have to buy a tank to use them in.
Right?
Yeah. Jack
McManus. All right, we're at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 more.
There's still plenty of room for reef hack in there.
Yep. You got hope. There's gonna put ads right in the middle, eh? And pick a winner. And D. Van Delser. Anyone use an Ice Cap 3K? I have not, but from my understanding, they're basically the original gyres. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they're essentially a copy of the original ones.
My Death Major name didn't come up yet, neither did mine. Reaper not in there.
Yeah, I have a Jabo, the CP40 gyre in my tank. So that's the only one I've actually personally used so far. And John's Reef Tank. I think I remember seeing John's tank from Daily Reefers videos. I think we got one more. Bought used and don't want their programming. Nope. All right, next one. And go. So we have Rob Burgess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, guys, we got 10 people.
Damn it, man.
I know.
Is there any UK ones there?
I have no idea. So we still don't have O, so I think I'm going to run her anyways. It's too bad he's not here, but we'll get her figured out. Okay, so we got our 10 names in here. I haven't had a good Wheel of Death in a while.
If the winner's not here, they forfeit their prize to me.
Yeah, that's the rules, is it?
That sounds good.
Yeah. I don't want a password. All right, guys, let's do this. Are in the chat? Or actually, are any of the finalists in the chat right now? Who are these people? These are people who entered O's contest for his 1K subscriber contest. For whatever reason, he likes me doing his contests. I've done 2 from now. They're other people's YouTube accounts. I've never seen them in the streams. They're probably like the silent type, you know, just kind of watches on the side. Okay, let's do this.
Well, you're the one that actually started the Wheel of Death thing, aren't you?
Yeah, it's fun.
When you go backwards down it?
Yeah.
To elimination?
Yep. It's the way to roll. It's the way to do it. Way more fun. Oh, Gone Fishing 703. Thanks for in the chat. Thanks for subscribing. And first spin. And. Danica 74. If you're in the chat. Sorry, Danica.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Dun dun dun. Those are my alt accounts. Probably exclusive reefer has like 10 accounts just so you can get in the contest. That means you gotta have 10 nano reefs and enter them all. I challenge you. Next spin. Jack McManus. Sorry, Jack. Yay, Mew. Okay, next one we got. There's no sound effects like tick, 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 tick. G-Man Gordon.
It's funny with this long delay.
I know,
you're calling out one name as we're seeing the last one.
Oh. Oh, yeah, I guess you can't see this on Hangouts. Might be able to screen. Yeah. Next time, maybe I'll try screen sharing as I do it or something. It's always interesting when you're streaming to multiple places at once. A little bit of reef. Welcome. All right, guys. Next spin. You missed a whole lot of stuff. At the current moment, someone's going to win a powerhead. And broke budget reef. Sorry there, broke budget. Hello from VA. Gone fishing? Welcome. Oh, Robert Guess. Farewell, Rob. I don't know if anyone's in the stream right now. It's exciting when you got people in there because you can hear the heart beating in the background. They're like, ah. Have a good night, Haley. And Nasotang. Sorry, Nasotang. Desmond, did you go with the Toonsy, eh? Night, Haley. All right, next spin. And then there was 4. We had D. Van Douser. Fairly well, sir. E for effort. This is actually pretty surprisingly quick considering there's like 200 something entries. And
yeah, we eliminated 240 of them really quick.
Oh, it says he has 2 minutes. 2 minutes. There's 3 names left. I'll delay. He just messaged me, says it will be here in 2 minutes.
Yeah, stop it with 2 names left and let him sweat till O gets here.
Yeah, exactly. John. No, I don't think he's in there. Reef with Ryan. It's too bad they're really not in here. One of my contests when I did it, rigged. That was as random as it gets. It was, it cracked me up because I literally had almost everybody in there, and you could hear so much panic in the background. It was awesome. Well, hello. Is that a Seymour right here in the background? Reefing with O? Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing?
So there's 3 names left on the board.
All right.
We randomly picked 10, and those 10 made it to the wheel. Unfortunately, I don't think any of them are in there right now in the chat, which is not as fun. But we got 3. We got Reefing Ryan, Ken Paccio, and John's Reef Tank. So we don't know what we're going to win. Ready for it, O?
All right.
All right.
Yep.
Tick, 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 tick. And, there goes Reefing with Ryan.
Oh, sorry.
I know, right? Always sucks. All right. You cut my hair. Why? Yes, I did. Thank you for noticing. So, next one. Dun dun dun. Okay, the finale.
Isn't it funny how the women notice that stuff? None of the men said anything about it all night long.
I know. All those guys. Ah, there goes Ken. Sorry, Ken. So the winner, John's Reef Tank. John, if you're watching, you won your choice of power heads from Reefing with Those contest.
Wow.
So we have a Gyri XF130, a Vortec MP10, or a Toon Z695. And from my understanding, it's their choice.
Yep. John's Reef Tank. Let me just make a note.
Yep.
John's Reef Tank. Who was the other finalist? Ken Pacheco.
Yep.
All right. Congratulations, John.
Yep. Congratulations.
Yep. He can reach out to me on the back end of my channel, or I will also reach out to him. Or if anyone knows him, just reach out to him. Tell him to contact me. And I will get his pump sorted and to him.
Sounds good. Awesome. Well, thanks for the awesome giveaway. And if you have not seen Reefing with Those channel, check it out. He's hit his 1K mark. It's pretty exciting. So it's pretty good. It's awesome, buddy. And I'm looking forward to see your nano tank.
Man, don't worry, man. I'm gonna put everybody to shame.
Yeah, are you?
What you got planned, though? What you got planned for your nano?
I think I'm gonna do a fully SPS dominant, man.
Are you?
Fully SPS dominant nano.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I'm going to end up with a mixed reef tank because I always feel restricted with only one, but we'll see what happens.
I'm going to do a fun tank.
What kind of fun tank?
Well, I'm not like entering to win, because I'm sponsoring, so I don't think that would be fair anyway. But I thought I'd enter to take part, so I thought, I'll do something fun with it, know.
I keep changing. Like I figured, let me do first it's gonna be no substrate, and I figure, hey, I'll do, like green star polyp, and I said no, that's too easy. So I'm thinking of my plan right now is SPS dominant, but that could change. Like I'm thinking of maybe a mixed reef with Euphilia as like the trees, and then like Judy Garland was like running through the meadow at the beginning of a Sound of Music, and we'll do maybe
not Julie Garland, Julie Andrews.
Oh my God, sorry.
Nice.
Thank you for the correction.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Like some meadows, and maybe do like encrusting Montipora as I'll figure out something, but it's probably going to be SPS dominant. I think so.
Nice.
I think so.
That'll be good. I think it may happen there as well, or probably mixed reef realistically. We'll see. I'm kind of curious. I still got to figure out a really cool scape. That's going to be the fun part. It'll probably take me a month to figure out the stupid scape, but we'll see. We'll get something going.
I was thinking of doing something crazy, but then I thought, I don't know. Nick, what do you recommend to like?
What would I recommend?
No, not for aquascape, but to glue rock together, something like concrete. Like, is there a product, not crazy glue, and not like the little like thing that you massage together? Is there something that you can if you want to make a crazy aquascape and you want to like cement two pieces of rock together, like what?
Yeah. The way I would do it personally, if you got the time, like you got time. Are you going to use dry rock or live rock?
Dry rock, probably.
Right. If you're going to use dry rock, what I would recommend is use some aquarium silicon. A couple of like on the contact points. Use that, but then use the cement to fill in around so that you can't see the aquarium silicon. Another way you can do it is to get some of the cement, do the aquarium silicon, and then powder the silicon with the dry cement before it's cured, so that it disguises the silicon, and then it'll just look like rock.
So, yeah, actually disguising is a good one. One quick note on that, because I did cementing first, and I literally do not touch it until it's almost cured, or before it cures. Because if you touch it too early, you can potentially break that bond. And I did that at first. I had to reglue a few pieces.
It cracks, right? And then it's too dry to go to seal again. That's the problem with the cement. Yeah.
So when I did mine, I literally did like one glue joint a day. And the next day I glue the next rock. And the next day I'd glue the next rock until I had my structure thing. The other thing I did, I mean, it all just depends on the size of your rocks, but I would only glue maximum of 2 pieces together, and I'd use friction for the rest. That way you're not making some big heavy conglomeration that there's no way you'll be able to move eventually. I mean, a nano tank is not really an issue, but in a larger tank, something to consider. With mine, I used
you could always do the acrylic rods.
Drill input
well,
rods.
I was just going to say, that actually. Another thing that I want to start experimenting with, because in the old days when we used acrylic rods, there were straight up rods on square bases, and you drilled your rock and you stacked them up, right?
Yeah.
So that's how we've traditionally used it in the old days, in the good old days. But what I've recently thought about doing was getting some long acrylic rods, heating them up, and bending them to form different shapes, like zigzags front to back and a slight arch, and then threading the rock onto it, and then just putting little dobs to stop it from spinning.
Yeah.
So I can use the bent acrylic rods to create arches and in and outs within the arches.
That's a cool
which
idea.
would be a lot easier than, because it's suspended, it's holding the weight. The acrylic rod is holding the weight of the individual rock pieces. And like Dev was saying, to do a very delicate arch made up of small pieces of rock is very difficult just using the stone fix and cement and stuff, because when you start to weight those arches up with coral, it can kind of give a little bit, I think. So the acrylic acts as a backbone, if you like.
Doing it like you're talking about, you could actually make like a human DNA chain looking thing and ladder up your corals.
One I used was called Fiji Crete originally, and it was kind of the same thing. It's like a reef safe cement type of deal.
I've used acrylic rods already, but that's with like maybe Pukani, that's easier to drill. I was thinking of using like Fiji, or maybe the one that looks like branch rock. Is it
Tonga?
branch? Tonga. Yes.
Yeah. The only thing with Tonga to be careful of, though, is it's going to be leaching for a long time. So with that, I would recommend using the bacterias to really get inside of it, break it down. Otherwise, you might complicate it by the leaching. So that's the only thing with the Tonga.
Good thing I got it from Fish Frenzy, who was already curing it for 6
months. There you go.
Oh, you got a head start.
Oh, I forgot you jumped on that.
Yeah, so I got it today, yes, and it's cured. He shipped it in water, so thank you.
Shipped it in water?
That's some luxury service right there. That's awesome.
In the bag. He damp. He shipped it damp. So when I got it, yes, he put it in a towel damp in a bag. So it had a lot, like the rock was,
that's really cool.
Yep, so I have it in a bucket now, still in salt water now, circulating. So even though I might not escape for another day or two, I still don't want that bacteria, that 6-week-old, cure to.
Yep, exactly. It's all beneficial. I'm probably going to start with completely dry rock, but I'll probably steal some sand out of my reef tank, and I'll probably steal a bit of marine pure to throw in there to kind of jumpstart it.
Hey, how does it look?
It looks good, man. I love it. I was a little bit worried. Thank you. You saved me a ton of money, because the stuff, I think the regular like stuff that you can buy by the pound at Bulkers Supply is sold out, and the only thing they have left is the homemade Tonga rock, which you have to buy it in boxes of $100. I didn't want to spend that much. You've sent me pretty much all the rock.
Tonga branch is getting hard to find these days.
Yes, I think my LFS told me that. I didn't believe it. So it looks, it is getting hard to find here.
Caribs.
Yeah, I cured it for 6 weeks, so we should be good. You should be good to go on that, man. I mean, when I packed it for you, I didn't have any newspaper, but I actually put in a in a bag and actually put it in like a wet towel. So I'm hoping it got to you still moist.
Absolutely, came to me wet, like in the bag, everything. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay, good.
If you are still searching for Tonga type of stuff, I know Carib Sea has one called Branch that's like Tonga purpley looking rocks.
Yeah, they do that. The Real Reef does as well. I think they've just launched, a few months ago, they launched a Branch version of the Real Reef rock as well.
Oh, nice.
I was sorry, I don't know if you caught because I got bounced out, but just be careful with like eco putty type stuff and the cements. Read the labels, because on the labels sometimes it says only use a certain amount, like so many grams per day, because it'll leach and suck stuff out of your water.
A lot of them,
unless you do your scape and then you soak it before adding it into your tank, to let all that stuff happen elsewhere.
Fisherman Reefer said the Nios Reef cement. I've never used it, but I've heard a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Do you guys have that brand over there in the UK, Nios?
Yeah, we do.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think they're based out of there, aren't they?
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah. I'll be honest. I'm not a particular fan myself personally. That's just me. I'm not a particular fan of it. I don't know whether that's because we already use stuff that I think is better myself. I personally think it's better. Whereas other people who might not be using something as good, and then they use the Nios thing, oh, this is better than what I'm already using.
I don't know. I did a review of one, like the Nios 120, the smaller skimmer, and it did actually work pretty well. Like it wasn't quite as silent as I would have liked, but it skimmed pretty well. And like I turned off my giant skimmer and just ran that in my tank for like a few weeks or a month or whatever I had it running for. And it did a pretty good job actually. So like I can't say anything for long term, but for the couple weeks I was playing with one, it wasn't bad.
There's someone, I'm not sure if he wants to be named, but he has the Nios 120 running on his tank, and he said it's very finicky, like it's hard to tune.
I was going to say that's what I found with them, is that they're very temperamental when it comes to water levels. So if the water level drops or raises just a tiny bit, they're very finicky in that respect. That might be what he's talking about.
Yep, I find the bubble magas to be the same thing, like so finicky. I don't find the Vertex to be that finicky. Actually, so when I was doing my research, it came down to basically Nios and Vertex. The pricing was very similar, but there was a guy who did a review, and part of his review, he actually tests like the air draw, and that's what the Vertex. The Vertex actually, I think it was from what the manufacturer like published air draw, it was very close to it, like within just a few points, while the Nios was less than half.
Oh wow!
So that the fact that I have to run my airline outside to pull fresh air in, that's what kind of put the Vertex over for me. Also, and I'm not trying to bash Nios, it's just that the ratings were like, to me, like didn't make sense somewhat. Like the smallest one is rated for something like a 20 gallon, 25 gallon, or 20 gallon to 120, which to me that's like a crazy range.
Yeah, that's a huge gap.
Yeah, and a lot of skimmers have the range, but I'd be okay with a skimmer that's rated for maybe 50 to 150 or something, because but the fact that a 20 gallon tank, I know all tanks are different, like but a 50 to a 150, at least it's within the same 3 to 4 foot tank, but a 20 to a 1 something, like those are completely.
Another big thing with that is it's hard to rate a skimmer on tank size, because it's really on bioload, right? It's how much processing does it need to do. Like it doesn't really matter how big. You can have a giant tank with one fish in it, and the little one's probably fine, right? Or you can have a little tank packed full, and you would want like an oversized skimmer.
Yeah, my tank is overstocked, so when I'm looking for a skimmer, I'm looking for one that's really. I'm oversizing it, because I expect, in a 75, I have what I think a normal person would probably have in a 120, 125. So
yeah. You know what, Seymour? $588. That's when it's going to cost you to get your dream skimmer.
And what is O dreaming about?
The Ultra Facula 200.
500. That's US dollars, or that's like Monopoly money?
That's from Unique Corals.
Oh my shit! This guy's smoking over there.
The next model down, the 180, which is rated up to 125 gallon, is $498.
So in the comments, Vertex guys say thank you for the kind words on the skimmer.
I really like Vertex stuff. I think it's the closest to, like, I think Europeans just have better designed, like it's better looking and better functional design stuff than we do. And I think Vertex. I was happy with my purchase. It wasn't my first Vertex stuff, but even, I don't know if Mage is in the chat, but the fact that it's the first skimmer I've seen that comes fully assembled, just to tell you how the acrylic work is so different. You know, like the stuff comes, like, there's almost no assembly. You just screw the cup on. It comes, you basically screw the cup on, put it in the sump, and it's ready to go. There's not a million things to do, like assembling.
I've done quite a lot of the Vertex equipment, and I must say, like, when I used to speak to Nicholas and Jamie, who used to be at Vertex, I used to compliment them because when they were there, that it was at the time when they were doing the rebranding and the packaging and all that. And it's like O was saying the other day, it's like Apple, you know, it when you get the box, it's like, this is going to be good. You know, before you've even opened the box, you just get a feel for it. And the build quality, the materials they use on the Vertex. Is it the Alpha Cone that you've got? Oh,
have the Omega.
Right, yeah. I mean, you can just tell, can't you, when you first open the box and you look at it, it's like, ooh, and you lift it out and it's like, ooh, you know, and that is part of it to me, you know, it's the satisfaction of seeing the quality, and you just know. And the pumps they use as well, they use the Red Dragon pumps, right?
I don't know what they use, but remember when I was coming from a Skims DC skimmer, and I forgot who, maybe you had a hand in it, but remember I was really concerned about the noise difference going from DC to AC. I was really really concerned, and I remember when I got the AC pump and put it in, and remember I had like all these things to sort of quiet it. I was coming up with things to quiet it, like, here's what I'm going to do to quiet it. I might not run it all day, and yeah, I was really surprised, like, with the AC. The Vertex AC pump was probably quieter than the Skims DC pump.
Really, eh? Nice.
Yeah.
I only have, for Vertex, I only have the one reactor, which I'm using my shade reactor, but all the stuff I have seen has been pretty, like, refined. I'd say more refined. Like, it just feels more solid and higher quality compared to a lot of the other stuff. Like, my skimmer is a coral box skimmer, which is a great skimmer, and it's pretty solid, but it doesn't quite feel as like refined, you know. It's not like you're driving a BMW, but it does the job. So that's kind of my look. It just feels like a little, like, more of a polished product, like that little extra cut above type of thing.
So if Dave is in the chat, so here's a big difference. So when I watched the BRS video of the Vertex, like, they used all these fancy stuff, like, you know, it has like something welded. See, like, I'm not a do-it-yourself person, so I have no idea what that means. But Dave, who has my older skimmer now, I dropped the cup. I live in an apartment. I do my cleaning in a bathtub. I drop the cup. It's broken. I siliconed it together. My Vertex skimmer, I dropped the cup. Didn't break. Like, it didn't shatter into a million pieces. It didn't chip. It didn't fall apart. It bounced in the tub, but, you know, it has some chips, but the thing didn't fall apart. So that's just the difference in the acrylic work. Is, you know, I dropped the pump, and I'm a tall person, so I don't recommend you guys going around dropping your skimmer cups.
How tall are you? I'm just curious.
6'5.5", probably.
Okay. Yeah, you're a tall guy. All right.
So is he really from Vertex? I maybe thought that guy was kidding.
Ben?
Ben
Ross?
Yeah.
Yep.
He said, yes, I am.
He says he is.
Yeah.
Well, Ben, where's the Celebra? That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh, man. Don't.
And I've also got a faulty doser. but it's our warranty. You might be able to help me do a software update on it.
I really do like the thing. Like I said, the air draw to me was yeah, it was a guy. I think it's on. I forgot where. I think it's on Reef to Reef, or there's a section on Reef to Reef where the guy or on reefs.com where the guy does a lot of skimmer reviews, but one thing he does is test the air draw. And that was a big thing for me. I think it was within 5% of what the manufacturer published air draw, the vert. And the guy said, this is the highest I've ever seen. Nice. Because usually people are close, but to be within 5%, he said that doesn't even account for maybe, testing error, maybe pulling it through my little air measure thingy. So the guy said it was spot on. So that's why I went with the Vertex. And yep.
Nice.
Yep, I'm a fan.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, they make nice stuff.
Yep. Expensive.
Yeah, they're not cheap, but it's good.
Yes, not cheap. Not cheap. I think Mage has bought one for her fish only. She bought the I'm upset at Mage because I bought mine and then she's there. And then she got hers on sale. So she bought a bigger one than I did and she paid cheaper than what I paid. So she's in the chat now. So.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Before we go off, so, are you sticking with the Vertex or are you changing?
No, I'm sticking with the Vertex. I heard about the Typhoon. I heard about the Typhoon. And,
I was talking to Nick about it the other day, and I was saying, if you've already got a good skimmer, why are you going with the Ultra Reef one? Don't get me wrong, the Ultra Reef is flipping fantastic, and like I said to you, I'd sell part of my soul for the Typhoon. But if you've already got something that works well, and it's not as if the product that you've got is crappy, like you've just said, it's a good product. So there's not really much point on changing, is there? And then when you were saying about, I'm going to get the Typhoon, I was like, what? That Typhoon would literally strip your tank. It would pull the rocks from your display.
You know what? I got my hands on an Ultra Reef reactor, and I was so just over the moon about the design and how cool it is. I really, just last year.
Solid, isn't it? Solid.
Mike Paletta came back from a trip overseas last year, and he said, he wrote an article on Reef Central and said, the stuff Dutch, German, and the UK, the stuff you guys have is just tank design overall. He says when they're doing tanks, it's more thought of as a piece of furniture that's blended into the overall decor of the home, versus here it's sort of it sticks out like a sore thumb when usually, not for everybody, by the way, I'm talking in general, but it comes through in the design of things, the functional, and it's not only something cool. I remember when Nios was in beta and I was reading about it, it had lights, which was cool. It had some lights in it so you could change the color, which was cool, but that doesn't affect the functionality anyway, it doesn't make it better. It's just cool. But the European products overall, just the functional design and the look is just better than what we have. It's just overall better. The Ultra Reef reactor, the way it's designed, and when you twist it to turk it out of the sump, the fact that you don't have to shut off a pump, your pumps just keep running, and when you're finished changing your media, you just go back and twist it on, and life just keeps on moving. Just little things like that.
I tell you what, when I first saw the Ultra Reef stuff, Nick showing it me, and he was like, check out this reactor, and I do it quite often because I don't know why, but I just do. I'm quite close-minded sometimes. And he'll turn around to me and said, check out this stuff, and I'm like, Nick, it's another reactor, I don't care. No, just look at this one. I'm like, I don't care, I'm not interested, let's do something else. Just have a look at this one. So then he's giving me the reactor, and I'm like, yeah, it's a reactor, so what? It's an acrylic tube. And then I started having a look at it and, give it a bit of a knock and things, and I was like, it's pretty solid, this, isn't it? It is a pretty, it feels like I could throw this across the room and I wouldn't even worry about it breaking. And then I opened it and took the base away. And then first of all, like what you just said, being able to take the full reactor away from the base, but not have to unplug pipes or anything like that, was the first sort of like wow moment for me. And then after that was just the way it opened, the smoothness. It was like silk.
It's a,
You know
it's
what
a
I mean?
little luxuries, eh?
Honestly, you'll be surprised on something so small. But I've had my Ultra Reef reactor now for probably getting on for nearly a year.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. And it still moves as smooth as silk as it did on the day I got it. It's just buttery smooth. It's beautiful. And then when I saw the reactors are exact same build, rock solid. You know, literally, if you walked around the streets, you'd be arrested because it's a deadly weapon. It's a beast. You know, you're not worrying about those things breaking. So a couple of weeks ago, I saw Vince from Triton, and he had the Typhoon on display, which is the big Ultra Reef reactor, the beast. And it's got a Seachy pump, so obviously an Italian-made pump. I've used Seachy wave makers before, and I've gone through multiple wave makers in my time, but my Seachys are still going. I use them now for my mixing tubs, you know, to mix my salt. So the Seachys are just still rocking along. So it uses a big Seachy pump, and then the reactor as well. The skimmer as well is massive. And I was like, oh, I need this. So then I asked him for one and said, like, you know, because I'm a supersonic amazing YouTuber with like 19,500 subscribers and millions of views, can I have one, please? I just laughed at it.
It's like sucker. So Mr. Ben just joined. So welcome, Ben. Nice to hop on.
How's it going?
Excellent. Nice dog, by the way.
Go, Ben.
Yeah. So you guys are asking.
Yes,
go ahead.
I am from Vertex. I am from Vertex, and I actually enjoy these chats. I know Dev. I've told him I've listened in on a few. Haven't really joined or participated, but here I am.
Welcome. It's always good to have you, and feel free to hop on anytime you want. So every Wednesday, I'm gonna keep on doing them. So it's good. It's fun. Someone was asking in the chat earlier. So a bunch of us are gonna do a bit of a nano tank challenge, so 25 gallons or less. And they're saying, is Ben gonna join us? So I don't know. Are you interested in doing a nano tank challenge?
Let's see. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
What's the challenge?
Hey.
Excellent.
That was easy. That
was easy. So
who are the judges in the challenge?
There is a good question. We have a couple of different ones.
ReefDudes.
Sorry,
Rico.
Reef Girl, is it?
Yeah, Reefer Girl Canada. Rico and Travis from Fish X.
Yeah, so there's a few different ones. Just pull it up. If you want to see the rules, I started a post. If you go to reefdudes.com/nano contest, it redirects you to the right page. It's 25 gallons or less. There's also going to be a class for Pico Tank, so 10 gallon or less. The contest starts January 1st. If you enter, you have to do your entrance by January 31st. So no separate sumps, all in one tanks are okay. Hang on filtration, all that stuff's okay. Basically 25 gallon water volume total or less is what it goes to. Corals, 1 inch frags or less. Like brains, scullies, that type of stuff, 4 inches or less. Like zoas, like a 1 inch disc is fine. LPS, like a single head. And it's going to run for a year. So after a year, so next December, it's going to be judged on best aquascape, best overall growth, best coloration, most creative, most inspirational, and a people's choice. So whoever entered, they can vote on it. For keep people accountable, you have to post a photo to Instagram once a week, and once a month do a video YouTube update on it. And there's a whole slew of different people that put up prizes and stuff. So there's a whole bunch of different random prizes to win on it. So
there's a lot of prizes put up.
Yep. So it should be pretty fun.
Oh man, that's if I have to keep it for a year, that's going to be an issue. Where let me show you guys a little bit here.
Yep.
I'm in our conference room.
Nice.
You can see the there's your proof. I'm at Vertex.
I believed you.
And we are actually outgrowing this facility, and in about 4 months we start shopping for a new location.
Nice.
Here in California. So I don't think I can keep a tank. I wanted to keep the tank in my office here, but I don't think that's going to be possible to keep it for a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
See, the
So
thing
Ben,
is,
you're
the
Vertex.
great
Are
thing.
you Vertex America then, Ben?
So Vertex in the U.S. is actually the Vertex. We have a manufacturing facility, and we still have our Germany facility, but the Germany is mainly going to be used for R&D as well as some production. In the EU is actually changing. We'll soon start working with some distributors there, whereas we were direct. But yeah, if you have any questions, you guys can email me directly, ben@vertextechnologies.net. If you have any questions, I don't want this to be too salesy. Again, I enjoy the chat. I enjoy the camaraderie and the discussions on the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a hobbyist myself for about 25 years now. I've been in the industry for 14. Not all of that is with Vertex, though. A good chunk of that, 10 years, was spent at Marine Depot. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So when
the next question, Ben, is going to be about sponsorship, right?
We've actually sponsored you guys already. ReefDudes. When did you do that giveaway?
That was, I think, 3K contest. Yeah, I gave away the somatic skimmer.
I remember that.
Yeah, but this is sponsorship for the Nano Challenge, though. It's a different sponsorship.
All right. Yeah, you let me know. Dev has my email address. He knows how to get a hold of me.
Who's talking right now? Who's talking
Vertex.
right now?
Ben from Vertex.
Ben from Vertex.
We're talking to Vertex.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing behind my back? How'd you do that?
you fell asleep on us.
Yeah, man. You're napping over there.
No. Actually, I've been on the phone doing a lot of business work for my wife and making sure everything's everything because she's trying to do this LuLaRoe stuff and whatever, all this girly stuff. So I've been on the phone with a couple of the big people and making sure everything's everything for her. But sorry I was absent, but nobody told me. How'd you pull Vortec in here? Vertec in here. How'd you do that?
Ben hangs out on our stream sometimes.
Ben just trolls. That's what it is. Ben's a big troller.
You guys got me.
But Ben's going to take up the Nano Challenge, Rico.
We're trying to talk him into it. He's moving offices, so he's a little hesitant, but we're trying to talk him to join the fun.
It's the Nano. You just drain it down and move it.
That's true. 25 gallons or less. You can do a 10-gallon.
That's what I was going to say, because, it's only 20 gallons or something like that. So, even full, you could just walk away with it. We don't got to worry about that. That's no excuse to not get involved.
Does Ben come to the Reefapaloozas?
So here's actually a cool thing. I am an officer of the Southern California Marine Aquarium Society. So I help the Southern California one. I actually helped put it together too.
Right.
And then that's how we were able to give away 3 or 4 pairs of tickets here.
Yeah,
I remember, Ben. You were on my live stream. I remember. Yeah.
So you're going to be in Vegas.
I was supposed to be in California, and I couldn't make it. Some things came up for me. I remember because I got Ben gave me a ticket. I actually gave away the ticket. Had Devin do the spin the wheel or whatever for that. Remember that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So are you going to be in Vegas for MACNA or what?
Most likely, yeah.
Excellent.
Right. I will see you there. I know Devin will be there.
We'll be there. It'll be good actually meet you in person, Ben. That'll be great.
I'm hoping to be there as well if I can get the flights sorted. So that'd be cool.
I think you should, Nick.
Stay where you're at, Nick. We'll have
I've had my official invite.
Yeah. You're welcome to join us.
So I kind of gotta go.
Why? Who's officially invited you?
They'll be telling.
Oh, you big liar.
I'm inviting Nick to join us.
I've got my accommodation and everything, so that's cool.
That's what I'm talking about.
Nice. Oh, that'd be awesome. So, Ben, if you decide to join the Nano Challenge, I'm sure we can bribe you into doing a small tank that's easy to move, but it'd be fun to do.
Yeah, I think I got the spot for it here in the office.
Okay, I'll send you a link to the actual page later, just to skim over all the rules and stuff that we're doing. But
I also I got an
If
email.
moving's an issue, we got a Pico division also.
Exactly.
Hey, Devin,
yep.
On the Reef to Reef, on the thread for my thread on Reef to Reef, can you go over there and put it together for me? The owner of Reef to Reef and them reached out to me.
Yep.
They just go over there and read that, what they said,
Okay.
or I'll send you forward it.
I think
the email.
Was it part of that conversation?
Yes, I think so.
Okay,
Yes.
I haven't looked at it in a couple hours. Gotta take a look.
So yeah, and let me know if you see it. If you don't see it, then I could just email you what was sent to me, and I'll let you put your penmanship on this.
Okay.
So,
all right.
Awesome.
Okay. Yep. No, I'll read through it and take a look after.
All right.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right, guys. So just to give you a heads up, I probably gotta shut her down in about 5 minutes.
Mine is still running.
Yeah. So if you guys need your live stream fix, always hop over to Rico's after. I gotta head to a birthday party pretty quick here.
Yeah, Rico rolls like 16 hours.
Yep. Rico hardly sleeps. It's a good thing you have unlimited data on your cell phone over there.
Sometimes I think Rico goes to bed, just leaves it running.
Yep.
That's right.
We've been for lunch with Rico, on the motorbike, all kinds of places.
Yes, you have.
Yep.
Pick up my kids, whatever.
Reality live stream.
Hey, you know what? A lot of people love it because they get to pick, catch the live streams because they're always on. So they know I'm always on, so they really don't panic. They only panic and start sending me emails when I go missing in action. So
Yeah, for a month straight.
Hey, sorry about that one, man. I had to take a break, man.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, brother.
Right, I had to walk away for a little bit. If not, there probably wouldn't be a Rico show for real. So, yeah, that's awesome. I'm sorry I missed a lot of this. I've been on the phone this whole time, man. So I just want to apologize.
No problem.
I didn't hear a lot of the stuff that was talked about, but I was still here supporting and just on no money.
Here in spirit.
Whatever.
Yeah, no
He
problem.
did the drawing for O's contest. None of us won.
Yeah,
Nick, go ahead.
Oh, was one of the regulars. There's a bunch of different names. So O had about 240 or so comment entries. So we picked 10 random ones and we did the wheel for those 10.
What happened with that? Who won?
Good question. It was. I don't want to say the name because I might say the wrong one. But yeah, was it John's Reef Tank? O has the name. He's going to reach out to him either way. So
Yeah, he's got it.
Yeah.
All right. Who made the list? I didn't make the list. I take it.
Which list are we talking about?
Didn't he just did the wheel to pick 10 random names or something?
We used a random comment picker to pick 10 comments, and then the 10 that were randomly picked went on the wheel. Just because I didn't want to do 240 spins, I'd be sitting here all night.
I need to get a big contest to get 500 entries, and yes, we'll do it all day. The wheel of death all day.
We'll start early. It'll be the marathon.
Marathon spinning.
The marathon spin. Oh, that would be awesome. Yes,
We'll do it.
We got to.
Okay, I'm almost at 4,000K, so I'll have to figure out something good for a 5K contest.
There you go.
I know. I'll have to start brainstorming for something good.
Maybe
a Triton system.
Yeah, well, let me see if I can. Well, Devin's pretty good at reaching out to the people.
I was just saying it because Trevor was in there talking about it earlier.
Oh, okay.
We'll figure out something.
We'll figure out something.
Yeah.
I'm sure come up with something good.
Exactly. That should be fun. All right, guys.
Dev, before you shut it down, just remind everybody that tomorrow Hannah coming on the live stream to do
Nice.
the I forgot what they're doing. Oh yeah, we're going to do a step-by-step. We're going to be doing a step-by-step run through the Hannah calcium checker, and also doing a bit of a Q&A. So if you've got any questions about Hannah checkers, whether it's the alkalinity or calcium, whatever.
And what time?
I told Kevin if he comes on your live stream, I'm gonna roast him live the whole Hannah live.
Nice.
So
you do know I can ban you for a day, can't you?
What's that? What's
you do know I can ban you for a day, don't you?
oh, that's fine. For a day. I mean, no. That'd be awesome.
Yeah. So it's 4:00 Eastern time. I think that's 9:00 my time.
Yes.
So yeah, 4:00 Eastern time. Kevin from Hannah's going to be coming on. We're going to do a bit of a Q&A, and we're going to do a step-by-step on the Hannah calcium checker, because obviously there's a bit of a, some people know how to use it, some people don't, some people are scared of it. So, do a bit of a step-by-step with that, and then go from there. So yeah, it should be fun.
Hey, you better. All I'm asking is you better have my seat.
You better have your what?
All right.
Oh, sorry.
All right. You better have my seat. Have me a link to get in.
Oh, seat.
I was lost too.
Seat. Seat. Right. Get you. No, I don't have guests on my live. I don't have guests on my live stream. Do I?
You better have me a seat. Are you?
It's all about me.
Don't make.
I'll see how it plays out tomorrow. So yeah.
Honey.
All right, we'll wing it.
Charge my card.
All right.
All
right, guys. I got to run, but I want to thank everyone who joined tonight. It's fun as always, and I'll see you guys next week. And if you guys still want your fix, I'm sure Rico's stream's still going. So
it is.
All right.
Rico, send me a link.
Have a good one, Dev.
Okay, thanks, guys. You guys have a good night.
Enjoy. Take it easy.
All right.
Send me a link, Rico.
All right.
Later, guys.
I'm allowed in.
Bye.